Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
I need a soundboard. Do I need one? I need to get one. I think I have some buttons here. I don't know how to use it. But shout out to LTD. Or how do you say him? LT? LTTV? Can we just call him LT?
Shout out to brother LTTV.
You have a disagreement with him is exactly the type of evilness and malcontempt that I talk about on this channel on a daily basis. This level of hate for men across our society and pure disconnectedness to what it is that men are doing for our society. Shut the hell up! I want to hear that!
This is what I'm talking about. This guy, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, denounced the manosphere, said he's not part of the manosphere. He's going to do we're going to see him talk about Andrew Tate and them saying that they're not part of the red pill space, denouncing the red pill space. A lot of these guys are starting spaces or are basically they're entrenched in these spaces. These spaces go left, they get bad PR, and all of a sudden they're not part of the space.
But as far as Donovan Sharp is concerned,
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. Alright, so I actually had a headphone die, AirPod die before the beginning of the start. Technical difficulties to start up, that's never a good thing. But let's get into this, y'all. Alright, so Rollo Tomassi is calling out MTR. MTR responded to Rollo Tomassi calling him out. I played that clip in the beginning to show that Rollo Tomassi pretty much calls MTR out for the same reason that I called him out and various others. When they say they're leaving the manosphere and all you hear from them is manosphere talking points and non-stop defense for all men, participation trophies for all men must be protected by all men from other women, like it's the same manosphere talking point. So people say they left the manosphere, they're still saying their points, they just want to escape the backlash. Let's get into this. This is what Rollo Tomassi is basically saying. He is saying that they're all grifters, including himself. Let's get into this, y'all.
so the reason why I said that the stuff that came out in January, it didn't come out in January. It came out in 2020, 2019, really? Something like that. It's been around for a long time.
God damn.
It was released by a gentleman by the name of Anthony Johnson, Oh, he's the white guy. Yes.
Okay.
But it again, the reason why it came out, the reason why you see this sort of like exposed.
Yeah.
And, oh my, he's a hypocrite. Don't listen to him. Don't. The reason why you get these hit pieces is because what you would never hear Abba and Preach say is the reason for that. The reason why this is old news. Like when I came at Abba and Preach for talking shit about Donovan, it wasn't because I was defending Donovan. I'm saying you guys, you've got old data. You're listening to the wrong person because the shit that you think is recent happened back in 2020. And the reason why is because Donovan Sharp runs a convention called the CME, which is the Convention of Masculine Excellence.
Shout out to SirChai87 with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Nothing but super villains fighting each other. Clowns. Yep.
That's right. Which is in direct competition with Anthony Johnson's 21 convention, and there is a lot of bad blood, and there's been a lot of hell, even Anthony Johnson's attacked Fresh and Fit's channel for having me and Donovan on, and Aaron Clary was on, I think, on that month as well.
What's his beef with you though? Like,
his beef with me is the fact that I basically saved his convention from like bankruptcy by actually believing this bullshit.
Oh, really?
And I was one of his keynote speakers for 2017 and 2018.
Yeah.
We were also, myself and Rich Cooper were involved in the Red Man Group, which was sort of the precursor of Rule Zero, which I think is a much better show, quite honestly. But then, the guys, you want to talk about pathological personalities. This guy has basically run off anyone who's ever worked with him, in the past. Abba and Preach are reactors. They'll look for whatever outrage bait that they can find. Because, look, seriously, go look at the thumbnails of everything that they do. You can go look at people's like thumbnails and say, is this guy an ideas guy or is this guy a reactor? Is this a guy who's just like waiting for the next crisis to happen?
Stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
You can't tell by the thumbnails if somebody is... the thumbnails are just to grab people's attention. That you can't tell by the thumbnails of anything. Sometimes, let's get on to the next point. That's
so
cap.
that they can do a reaction video?
Yeah.
Or are they actually doing something? Do they have a product? Do they have an idea? Do they have a book? Do they have anything that is novel and new? 98...
Did he say a book?
They can do a reaction video?
Yeah.
Or are they actually doing something? Do they have a product? Do they have an idea? Do they have a book? Do they have anything that is novel and new? 98% of the time, no, they don't, because they're waiting for people to talk shit about someone else so they can go do a reaction video. That is Abba and Preach. That is MTR. That is anybody who's an outrage broker, right? And so it was just...
So as you can see, he says MTR is just reactionary. Doesn't really stand for anything. He's just waiting for outrage to react to. That's the way he's describing Abba and Preach and MTR. But MTR responds to this. Let's get into this.
It's the new hotness, and I just called him out on the bullshit because the stuff that they were talking about, Anthony Johnson had been talking about Donovan Sharp since back like 2 years ago because he wanted to expose Donovan so it would hurt his convention because he was in direct competition with him.
Now, well, one, I do want to get to like you and MTR because I had no idea. You feel me? That there was some type of beef there.
I've never said two words to MTR, so I only see what I see. Right?
Yeah. What's your issue with MTR? Why don't he like you?
I don't know. I don't know. Does he not like me? I don't know. I'm not a. I look at what MTR does and what he's talked about in the past with like Fresh and Fit. I know he's come at Pearl, which please keep going at her now.
Yeah.
I had a problem, now I don't have a problem anymore. Please do. It's all you. It's on you, bro. Go get him. No, I don't have a problem with him. I just think that his profit model is based on outrage brokership, and it's all reaction stuff. He doesn't offer anything new. He just talks shit about other people who are actually out there doing something. Right? And he's not alone. I don't want to just hit on him. There's other.
Now, I'm not a fan of MTR, but I would not describe his channel the way he's describing his channel. I don't think his channel is derived off of strictly outrage. I think I'll get into his channel in a second, but I don't think this is an accurate reflection because we're going to get into some things in regards to his channel and originality because he's trying to claim some originality for things. I've called him out for being a biter in the past. Some receipts might have to get pulled. I don't like that word. I should have used another one, but it is what it is. Let's get it.
Other But as far as MTR, and there's was it Hamza? And there's some other guys, and remember we were talking about like guys who want to leave the manosphere.
Yeah.
One of it's an ongoing joke on Rule Zero right now. We'll go and we'll look at the people who will say I'm leaving. Like was it Coach Red Pill, Corey Wayne, Hamza, I guess, John Son. Joke on Rule Zero right now. We'll go and we'll look at the people who will say I'm leaving. Like was it Coach Red Pill, who, Corey Wayne. Who? Hamza, I get.
Who? Who the hell are these folks? Who is he naming? Bunch of no-name brands.
Yes, John Sonmez, MTR as well. We're leaving the manosphere.
Except MTR. See, that's a notable name we know. 600,000 subscribers.
We're done with the manosphere. And then you go and they'll do this like a year ago, and you look at every video they've done since they said we're leaving the manosphere. We're done with the manosphere. And then you go and they'll do this like a year ago, and you look at every video they've done since they said we're out of the manosphere, we're done with the red pill now. Everything that they do, all their reaction videos are red pill reaction videos. Every last one. You never left. You're just simply talking shit about the same guys that you wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
But now you've left the manosphere. No, you haven't left the manosphere. You're still doing the same material.
Yeah.
What he's saying is absolute facts. They are still doing the same material. That's why I pulled up the reaction of me reacting to MTR going at Six the Goddess in defense of that police officer dude. He's doing the same material. He says he left the manosphere, which he said he was never in the manosphere, but he left the manosphere, which he was never in. But he's still making manosphere red pill content from the perspective of defend all men, stand up for men, frame men as the heroes in society, all men, participation trophy shit, like that type of shit. So it's the same type of material. I get what he's saying in that, because I've called him out for the same thing. I agree with that.
Now,
Solo TV said Hamza is huge. I don't know who these folks are. I'm not a red pill manosphere guy, so these guys may be people with large platforms and stuff. I just don't know who they are.
If you left the manosphere, you would be talking about like fishing. You know, you'd start a fishing channel, or you'd start a sports channel, or you'd start something that's completely off topic. If you quit the manosphere, get the fuck out. There's the door. Leave, please. There's too many of you.
Audience don't give too much
go.
Leave, man.
There it is. Please leave and stop talking shit about people in the red pill and the manosphere. If you're done with the manosphere officially, then get the fuck out.
Now, this is where he fucked up. You're not in the manosphere if you're anti-manosphere, anti-red pill. If you're a content creator like Duke the Don, who constantly destroys and cooks the manosphere red pill frauds who are selling courses and finessing their fans, if you're one of those people, you're not part of the manosphere. That's something different.
Now, I think, and you said that like somebody paid Abba and Preach to make the Donovan Sharp video.
I proposed the idea, and I have proof of this. But because I've seen this happen before, is Anthony Johnson has paid people in the past to do paid material, hit pieces, in particular about me, Rich Cooper. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else he's done hit pieces on. Sterling Cooper. I'm trying to think who else. But essentially, what he does is he uses what cat's paws. He uses people like as proxies to come out. Like MGTOW Dictionary was another one. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are sort of, I won't say they're on the payroll, but they're definitely incentivized. One thing that they did not deny was the fact that the information that they got, we didn't know who Anthony Johnson is, but they got the information either from him or third hand that came from him, and didn't know that they got it from him. So they're talking out their ass and reacting to something that happened. The exposure happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Did you know he was a convicted criminal? Yeah. So was Angela Knight, but nobody says shit about that. Nobody cares about that shit. Again, no one cares.
Now, Rollo just felt the need to bring somebody down with him. He's getting called out, and what does he do? What is this?
Exposure happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Did you know he was a convicted criminal? Yeah. So was Angela Knight, but
Man, this some more bullshit.
Now, I asked Angela about this. Angela says she has all the tea. That's what she said verbatim. That's what she said. She has all the tea. She's going to speak about what happened with her, or not what happened with her. She's going to speak about this whole Rollo Tomassi video. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to speak for Angela. Angela is going to react to this and speak about this. So we're going to get the details then. I'm going to be tuning in with the popcorn as well because I don't know anything yet, but let's get it.
nobody says shit about that. Nobody cares about that shit. Again, no one cares.
Wait,
no one, if you hadn't brought this up right now, Angela, was she busted for shoplifting?
Angela Knight?
Yes, shoplifting. I didn't even.
Yeah, I'm
and by the way, I didn't dig that up. I had like other people like, "Hey, did you see this?" I was like,
She don't strike me as the petty theft.
She's a criminal. She's a hardened criminal.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, hard times. Okay,
She was 19.
But you were hot though. You could sell some pussy to get some food, right?
Maybe back then. Maybe then she was. She's probably that 20 pounds lighter then.
What?
All right, so I'm not going to touch that one. Everybody hit the like button, y'all. I am not going to touch that. We're going to leave that to Angela to clear that up and speak about whatever the hell Rollo said. I don't have any details, so I don't know anything. Let's go on to this video. This is MTR responding to Rollo Tomassi.
19.
But you were hot though. You could sell some pussy to get some food, right?
Maybe back then. Maybe then she was. She's probably that 20 pounds lighter then.
Yeah, these guys are weird, man. The Manosphere guys, or the Red Pill, whatever the hell Rollo considers himself, that whole shit is weird. Randomly just bringing up somebody's alleged criminal history when they were not even an adult, but barely at that point. Y'all, we got to get these likes up, y'all. Likes are free.
Was 0 down, no credit.
Let's get these likes up, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All right, so this is Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews response. Let's get into this video.
What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Back in here.
How did this happen? Who was the idiot that did this?
With one more video. Guys, we're going to have a fantastic conversation here today. So put your seatbelts.
Yeah, I like to talk shit about MTR. I like to clown MTR for the corniness, but it is YouTube, so let's get it. Let me adjust the sound a little bit. This is a little bit higher than the last one.
On and let's get active. First and foremost, shout out to Flacco of the No Jumper Network. Keep doing your thing, my G. He recently sat down with none other than Rollo Tomassi, who mentioned me in particular issues with me, so I want to be able to go over it. Now, let me also preface this conversation in saying that I've talked about Rollo Tomassi a couple of times on the platform previously. Most recently, there were statements that were brought up in terms of a Twitter conversation that he was having, and one of the things in his Twitter conversation was about young men getting vasectomies. I did content on it. He then went back later and did a debate on Fresh and Fit, where it was like him and another gentleman and versus him and Sneeko. He then clarified a lot of his statements. Anyway, so I just wanted to set the context of where I've talked about him before in the past. But to my knowledge, he has never mentioned me, so I thought that we investigate together. All right? Without further ado,
You can go look at people's like thumbnails and say, is this guy an ideas guy or is this guy a reactor? Is this a guy who's just like waiting for the next crisis to happen so that they can do a reaction video?
Yeah.
Or are they actually doing something? Do they have a product? Do they have an idea? Do they have a book? Do they have anything that is novel and new? 98% of the time, no, they don't, because they're waiting for people to talk shit about someone else so they can go do a reaction video. That is Abba and Preach. That is MTR. That is anybody who's an outrage broker, right? And so it was just the new hotness, and I just called him out on the bullshit.
okay, so first and foremost, it seems as though Rollo Tomassi has bucketed me into just simply a reaction channel, into his words, an outrage broker. And let me just say, guys, first and foremost, I kind of agree and disagree with his statements right here. Let me go over which component of it that I disagree with first. I disagree with that you could just look at channels just on their thumbnails and be able to tell if it's a reaction channel versus an ideation channel, right? An idea channel. I don't think that you can necessarily do that, because although he's bucketed me into just simply a reaction channel or an outrage broker, he probably doesn't also know that I do have products such as the Modern Man's Playbook, where my goal is to teach young men how to be the man that other men respect as well.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Okay, so he has a course. He's selling courses out here. The Modern Male Play. What in the hell? I thought you left. I thought you left the manosphere. What in the hell is this?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Reaction channel or an outrage broker, he probably doesn't also know that I do have products such as the Modern Man's Playbook, where my goal is to teach young men how to be the man that other men respect as well. Reaction channel or an outrage broker, he probably doesn't also know that I do have products such as the Modern Man's Playbook, where my goal is to teach young men how to be the man that other men respect as well.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Man, he did it to himself. He did it to himself. So the point that he made about him leaving the manosphere, or saying he left the manosphere but he didn't actually leave, true. He didn't actually leave. He's still selling manosphere bullshit, the same old courses and shit. Hold on, let's get into this, man.
Well as teaching young men how to be the man that women want deep inside of them. As well as another digital product that I ideated literally out of nothing called Transcending the Red Pill, which paints to modern men today exactly how our society has become so abhorrent with feminism and sexual liberation, and then details to them how to transcend past ideas of the red pill to be bigger, better, faster, stronger. These two.
Oh man, at the end of that book, these folks
We
are...
have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Learning how to be men from men on YouTube. This is filthy work out here. This is filthy. Let's get it, y'all.
Two things alone I have created, and I offer them to anyone who follows me if they want to. And if not, then enjoy all the free content that's up on YouTube. By the way, links down in the description box down below. So if he judged me just based off of the thumbnails, that would immediately prove that point incorrect. However, what I do agree with him on is this idea of outrage broker. And here's the thing, I wouldn't necessarily describe it as that. If someone walks to me on the street, like,
I would not describe his channel as an outrage broker. He's had moments where he's been, you know, overreacted, or the reaction wasn't in accordance to the actual offense. But that everybody has moments like that. I would not call his channel an outrage broker, though. I don't think that's a fair assessment of his channel. I would say it's a manosphere channel. I would say that it definitely empowers men. It's always in the defense of men. It's always for the best interest of men. That's why he talks about having 26 women viewers total. That's what he talks about, barely any women audience. My channel has, I probably have way more women in my audience than most of these channels. Because it's not manosphere slant. It's not all men always got to be right in this instant. It's not all what's for the best interest of men specifically, and that's it. So his channel would be that. Solo TV's right. He knows his market. We're gonna get that. We're gonna break that down in a second because he says some interesting things here. And I did some homework. I did some fact checking, and we have some interesting results. So let's get into this.
Typically, when people come up to me on the street and ask me like, yo, like, what is your channel about? I say that I take viral video topics, I tell a story about them, or I just commentate over that scenario so that those that are watching can have a better understanding of the world that they live in. So as they conceptualize life for themselves and how they can be solution oriented or just be a better version of themselves, they understand how to do that. But what confuses me about that is
the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Now, he can say that can be a true description of his channel as long as he doesn't say people and he says men, because it's for men. There's nothing wrong with being in a niche and being in the manosphere, but you got to keep it a stack and act. Don't try to act like it's something that it's not. It's the thing is, Solo TV says it. RP content is dying. It won't be relevant 2 years from now. That is facts. Everybody's moving away from the label RP or manosphere because they know the content is dying and the message has been destroyed. People are looking at it like you're indoctrinated when you believe these things. But let's get into this.
is that everybody does that, right? I did content on Adam 22 in his situation, but you know who else did content at? You, Rollo Tomassi. So does that make you an outrage broker because you did content on something that was going viral at that particular junction? So really what I'm trying to say is what really makes us different, right? Like, and I know that I deliver content in what I would like to call an edutainment style, whereas you deliver content in a much more educational style. And different styles, I think, attract different amount of view counts. But I do think to call us outrage brokers, but then also not say that a Fresh and Fit isn't an outrage broker. I mean, they got a lot of eyes on their platform due to the kickouts, due to the outrages that would happen in studio, on their set. And they took advantage of that and continued to grow their platform.
Now, well, one, I do want to get to like you and MTR because I had no idea. You feel me? That there was some type of beef there.
I've never said 2 words to MTR, so I only see what I see. Right?
Yeah. Damn, we've been here for what, like 3 hours?
2 hours.
God damn. Yo, who knows?
Dude, I do 4-hour and 5-hour podcasts regularly on. I only do one. It's on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Here, right, but right now, right. Look at this, right? Cool. But all right. So, what's your issue with MTR? Why don't?
Yo, Flacco has some good uploads. He has good content. Like, he puts together some good clips where he's actually speaking fluently. But in his live streams and in the live interviews, it is rough. Dude struggles to get the words out. He does get good hosts and ask them decent questions. That's why Adam's seen the potential in keeping somebody like Flacco. But damn, watching some of these interviews is rough as hell, man. Some dark days out here.
He like you?
I don't know. I don't know. Does he not like me? I don't know. I'm not a. I look at what MTR does and what he's talked about in the past with like Fresh and Fit. I know he's come at Pearl, which please keep going at her now. Yeah. I had a problem, now I don't have a problem anymore. Please do. It's all you. It's on you, bro. Go get him.
Let me just clear the air before we go on right now. Rollo, I have absolutely no issues with you whatsoever. In fact, I know that you've written a book that gets high accolades, high praise.
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
Goddamn books. The books are the finesses, man. Y'all are just be finessing people with these damn books.
I haven't read that book, not because I just don't want to read it, but because as a content creator, I don't want to subconsciously lift content from the book and then be speaking about it. Because sometimes what can happen is that I can totally forget where I heard something from and not attribute it to a particular book. So I didn't want to muddy my content creation waters with something that someone else in the space also created. So yeah, brother, I have no issues with you. In fact,
yo, who was in the back? There was somebody that was in the back in the call-in link. Somebody called in. My bad for cutting this off. Somebody called in 6 minutes ago. They were raising their hand. I did not look in the back. Pause. Was that anybody in the chat?
I respect what you've done for the space and continue to do going into the future. Let's go.
But no, I don't have a problem with him. I just think that his profit model is based on outrage brokership, and it's all reaction stuff. He doesn't offer anything new. He just talks shit about other people who are actually out there doing something. Yeah. And he's not alone. I don't want to just hit on him. There's other guys that do the same thing. But as far as MTR, and there's was it Hamza? And there's some other guys, and it's
that's an inaccurate. That's not what Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews does. That's cap.
So, remember we were talking about like guys who want to leave the manosphere?
Yeah.
I'm still failing to see what the particular issue is, right? Like if you want to call it outrage brokerage, which I think is a much more negative version of just taking viral video topics and telling a story about them. If that's what you want to say, you should have issues with everybody that you do content. I mean, you're cool with Sneeko, right? If that's not outrage brokership, then I don't know what is. I mean, the brother was so outrageous, he got kicked off of YouTube for it. So then what is the difference between me and a Sneeko? There seems to be a place of dissension from Rollo when it comes to how I have chosen to garner an audience. And I'm a bit confused about that. Because just like I think that if you look at a basketball team, everyone has a particular role, right? You got a point guard, you got a small forward, you got the power forward, you got the center. The same thing happens in male-focused content. You have different people on the track towards the same goal, but they might utilize or leverage different ways in order to hit said goal. I think that the reason that my channel has blown up to 600,000 subscribers is not only because I'm a hard worker, but then also too, as I talk about these different topics, I talk about these topics from being in the streets. I am actively in these goddamn streets. So I think that I can come across it with a degree of nuance that others may not have the opportunity to be able to do. Rollo, you've been married for 30 plus years, and although you can talk through the prescription, you're not actively in the streets. I mean, shit, a scientist that just has ideas is just a bullshitter at the end of the day, unless those ideas are pressure tested against some type of hypothesis. It's the reason for peer-reviewed articles. I would think that the commentators within the space are utilizing real-world experiences to talk through the situations that they are seeing while also testing it against the proxicology of red pill. But yeah, I think that my channel has grown because of the audience that I supply content to. They know exactly what it is that I'm talking about because I can talk so fluently about it because I am so actively involved in it as well. Shit, I just went down to the Dominican Republic not too long ago for a trip down there, and that shit has re-red pilled me because I'm going down there tripping. Listen, y'all girlfriends that are taking on these goddamn girls trips that are in relationships, they ain't in no goddamn relationships when they down there. Married women coming down there taking girl trips, taking off their goddamn wigs. Married where? These chicks are down here, wildin'. Modern women. I can talk about them for days and on days. These chicks are wildin' on it. And how it is that I know that?
Now, when I hear statements like this, all I think is,
All due respect, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear that.
it's like, bro, I've been telling folks this from time. Your behavior dictates everything. Doesn't matter if you're in a relationship, you're married, you're doing things that are obvious red flags, you're belonging to the streets. I've been saying that people are in relationships, married, at work with their work husband, work wife, sending on the crotches. That's normal shit. That's regular activity. The way they sell it in the red pill space, like it's an over proliferation of it and everybody belongs to the streets and it's a whole goddamn world they overrepresent. But nonetheless, let's get into this.
Let's continue.
Coach Red Pill, Corey Wayne, Hamza, I guess, John Sonmez, MTR as well. We're leaving the manosphere. We're done with the manosphere. And then you go and they'll do this like a year ago. And
Now, this point right here, Rollo got him 100%. 100%, because he said, we're leaving the manosphere. We proved that he didn't leave the manosphere. Everything he does is still manosphere talking points. He said he did it himself. He showed that he has his course. He does sell a course. He has a book. And he's still speaking to the dating scene. He was talking about he's out in the streets. He's talking about them dating streets. He's talking about being single, actively talking to girls and vetting girls and communicating with girls, dating. That's what he's talking about. So he's saying he has more experience in that world to speak to an audience because he's actively in it, while Rollo is retired and he's old and he's been married for like 3 decades. So that's what he's pretty much saying. But nonetheless, you still do manosphere red pill talking points.
you look at every video they've done since they said we're out of the manosphere, we're done with the red pill now. Everything that they do, all their reaction videos are red pill reaction videos. Every last one. You never left. You're just simply talking shit about the same guys that you wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
Now this is cap. He's not talking shit about the people that he wanted to be a part of, because he was a part of them, and he's still doing those points. So he has half of it right, half of it wrong.
But now you've left the manosphere. No, you haven't left the manosphere. You're still doing the same material.
Yeah. Now,
if you left the manosphere, you would be talking about like fishing. You know, you'd start a fishing channel, or you'd start a sports channel, or you'd start something that's you'd start something that's completely off topic. If you quit the manosphere, get the fuck out. There's the door. Leave, please. There's too many of you.
Audience don't give too much
Go.
leave, man.
There it is. Please leave.
Now, MTR is silent. He's not saying anything.
And stop talking shit about people in the red pill and the manosphere. If you're done with the manosphere officially, then get the fuck out.
Just leave, man.
What's so funny about these comments right here is that I, MTR, never said that I was in the manosphere to begin with.
Oh, shut up, nigga.
See, this is what he tries. I never said I was in there to begin with, but you said you were leaving. You announced that you're leaving the manosphere. That's like me getting up on screen and saying, people, I'm leaving the black manosphere. I've never been a part of the black manosphere. Those are the dudes that I cook for supporting people like Pearl. It's like, what the hell? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? You knew that your material in your content was also synonymous with manosphere, red pill talking points, and manosphere content. You knew that. We can go to his content and show how we know that. When modern women get rejected, or when man, hold on, man, we got all of that.
It is a place that I was placed because I was talking to men with an RP undertone, and my channel started to bubble.
What does that even mean? I was talking to men with an RP undertone. That means you are a manosphere red pill channel. You're talking to men. You got your demographic. You're talking with the RP undertone. What does that mean? The red pill, they're so aware of modern women and modern society and blah, blah, blah. These are all red pill modern. Man, this guy's confused, man. And I don't even think Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews is confused because he's a smart guy. I think he's bullshitting. I think half of these folks bullshit. They know exactly what they're doing. Like, hey, you ain't gonna fuck up this marketing.
The audience placed me there. So much so that at the point...
The audience placed you there because they looked at all red pill manosphere content. They looked at some of Poor Man podcast content. They looked at Araco TV and like, hey, wait a minute. This compilation just looks just like that. Manosphere. You're representing and speaking up for men. That the situation happens with Six the Goddess and that police officer. And the first thing you're saying is, oh, women that don't know the hardships of men and the things that men do. We're not speaking about specifically what he's done. We're talking about men in general, always campaigning for men. That's manosphere, bruh.
And I think it was like end of 2021 before it was popping to say things such as we're leaving the manosphere or we're leaving red pill. I made a video proclaiming that in the title. The interesting part about that is, and maybe to his credit, he doesn't realize this, is that the content style of finding said modern woman that says something utterly ridiculous, bringing it onto the platform, having a conversation about it with RP undertones, right? Cutting that video up into a 10 to 12 minute video, posting it to the channel, and doing it daily, day after day for a male audience is a style that I created. After I started to win with that particular meta, a slew of reaction channels or commentary channels started to cutting that video up into a 10 to something utterly ridiculous, bringing it onto the platform, having a conversation about it with RP undertones, right? Cutting that video up into a 10 to 12 minute video, posting it to the channel, and doing it daily, day after day for a male audience is a style that I created.
Stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
Lie! Fucking lie!
Now, I had to make sure I heard that once again because Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, he needs to be careful with the words here because I did the research. I'm like, okay, I seen a bunch of these channels blowing up with the same techniques, the same formulaic videos. Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews was one of them. God damn, someone else was in the... Oh, it's just feeds. We don't care about feeds. Okay, so Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews was one of them. Poor Man's Podcast was the other. Well, another. And Araco TV. I went back to look into the details after he said this because I remember it happening while it was going on and I was looking at them in the algorithm and seeing what they were doing because you see related channels and blah, blah, blah. So I seen the type of videos Poor Man Podcast was making, the formulaic videos. He made them 7 minutes, sometimes 8 minutes, sometimes 15, sometimes 4. But it was the same type of content that Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews was doing and Araco TV. I looked back at the dates to see who was the originator because I seen it, as I was seeing it live and calling it out, I seen Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews copying a bunch of different content creators. He's even stole some of my anime references and reused them on a much bigger platform when I had like 2,000 subscribers, which rubbed me the wrong way. But I was like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna keep it pushing. Nonetheless, I seen him copy that format. I went back and I did the research, and I'm trying to pull it up right now, but this internet is dusty today. Poor Man's Podcast started it. I went back into it. Poor Man's Podcast started it. He started it. Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews made it more consistent with his formula with the times, 10 to 12 minutes. But Poor Man's Podcast started it. Araco TV built an entire channel on the same format, shorter videos. He has how many subscribers now? Araco TV has like over 1 million. These guys have huge channels. These videos do hundreds of thousands of views. They're formulaic videos. They're good videos, but they know what the intention is. They know what the audience is. They know what they're going for. Shout out to E Black TV with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Rollo has that 20-inch Brazilian yaki. Yo, that shit does look cap as hell.
After I started to win with that particular meta, a slew of reaction channels or commentary channels started to pop up, emulating the exact same format to a T. And it's
so he's taking credit for something that I think he stole. The way I look at it, when he says to go back into the history, go back to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews page, scroll down and look at the videos like that are titled When Modern Woman. Oh, I gotta get the titles, man. I didn't open it. I had too many browsers open. This annoys me. I had it open yesterday as I was gonna review this at night. And I looked at it and I was like, damn, this nigga took credit chest out when the proof is in the pudding. And it shows that Poor Man's Podcast did it before him. But I'm gonna pull that up. Let me play this, y'all.
Slew of reaction channels or commentary channels started to pop up, emulating the exact same format to a T. And it's shifted since then. I would say we actually went through a whole compilation phase for the past year or so, which I believe is on the tail end as being the top on its meta. But to tell me to stop doing a content style for a particular audience that have not seen it to that degree before.
Okay. Let me run this back a little bit. The compilation style that he mentioned in the end of this, that is the one I'm speaking about. I don't know the meta that I think I fucked this up. I think I misconfused which formulas which type of video format he's talking about for the other one. I gotta pull this back a little bit. Sorry, y'all. 2008. Let me see this.
And doing it daily, day after day, for a male under. Finding said modern woman about that is, and maybe to his credit, he doesn't realize this, is that the content style of finding said modern woman that says something utterly ridiculous, bringing it onto the platform, having a conversation about it with RP undertones, right? Cutting that video up into a 10 to 12 minute video, posting it to the channel, and doing it daily, day after day for a male audience is a style that I created. After I started to win with that particular meta, a slew of
Nope. Nah, I stick to my first prognostication, not that he did. No.
Reaction channels or commentary channels started to pop up, emulating the exact same format.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Comments he's saying that I am when I never said that I was a part of it to begin with. Is average at best. And while we're on the topic as well, because it seems as though it's that placed me on its meta, but to tell me to stop doing a content style for a particular audience that have not seen it to that degree before, within an audience that placed me into a manosphere when I never said that I was a part of it to begin with, is average at best. And
all right, so that is an epic fail. Now, we clearly outlined why this dweeb is a manosphere content creator, always caping for all men. We completely outlined that in the first however minutes of this video. He even outlined it himself by admitting to certain things, by showing his value as a content creator to Rollo, by saying, oh yeah, I got this course, I got this book, I got this manosphere fraud course that everybody does, the finesse that everybody in the red pill manosphere space does. I got one of these too, proving that he belongs in this space. The fans placed him in that because your content is synonymous with red pill manosphere talking points. So he's trying to escape it. He's trying to be unaccountable. He's trying to avoid the label so he's not grouped with a bunch of folks where people can pick at his talking points and be like, yeah, you're just a part of this wing on YouTube that espouses this rhetoric constantly like it's the truth, but it's just your subjective reality. But let's get into this, man.
While we're on the topic as well, because it seems as though in Rollo's comments, he's saying that I am just a reaction channel and I have no ideas. You know what's an idea that
Now that's wrong. Everybody does that, and they try to belittle reaction channels because they don't like the format, or they don't like the fact that so much people enjoy the format. So they try to belittle reaction channels by saying they don't have no ideas of themselves. That is cap. That is cap. Well, as it pertains to mediocre tutorials and reviews, though, I don't know.
I created that now you benefited from. Rollo Tomassi now has a show called Access Vegas. On that ideas, you know what's an idea that I created that now you benefited from? Rollo Tomassi now has a show called Access Vegas. On that show, they are interviewing women. The format of that show leverages Fresh and Fit's model. You know whose Fresh and Fit's model leverages of talking to women in a live studio audience? Fresh and Fit leveraged the model of Kevin Samuels, which was talking to women, but talking to women in a live stream format. Do you know whose channel that Kevin Samuels looked at to leverage the idea of talking to women in real time? Because mind you, Kevin Samuels started out for the first 5 years of talking to men. But do you know who he looked at? Me! I was the first content.
Stop the cap.
What? Oh, hell nah. Yo, somebody call Tommy. Yo, somebody email Tommy Sotomayor ASAP. What in the hell is this? How did this happen?
How did this happen? Who was the idiot that did this?
Hey, yo, the tall tales, the massive fabrications, the I did it first Soldier Boy shit. What is going on, dweeb? Who are you?
In real time, because mind you, Kevin in a live stream format. Do you know whose channel that Kevin Samuels looked at to leverage the idea of talking to women in real time? Because mind you, Kevin Samuels started out for the first 5 years of talking to men. But do you know who he looked at? Me!
All right, so we had somebody in the back drop off again. You know, this is sad. Now he's taking credit for Kevin Samuels. We've seen a bevy of people come up and take advantage or take credit for Kevin Samuels. But what do we have here on my channel? We have Kevin Samuels calling in to Tommy Sotomayor's show to give him credit for his influence and tell him how much of a fan he is. We have that very conversation on my channel somewhere. So when he says that, it's like, bro, this is revisionist history at its finest. Why does everybody want to take credit for Kevin Samuels? He's probably just rolling in his grave just like, come on.
Oh, shut up, nigga.
Like, what are we doing out here? Let's get to these super chats. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got John with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
I was just about to say Soto did it way before. That's facts. Now we got Moxie with the $5 super chat. Shout out to Moxie.
I'm getting rich.
Rollo must be proud at Flacco giving himself a vasectomy by squeezing his lard ass into those skinny jeans. Never knew spandex could stretch that wide. Jesus Christ, yo. Flacco, man, Flacco's going out sad as hell. He needs to lose weight. Them niggas need to see the gym. The content creation game has people stuck in these studios 24/7. They can't even see a gym. God damn. Moxie gave Flacco this treatment.
You say that? I am a person that believes in second chances. I think America is the land of second chances. Except for when it comes to this dude, Mr. Jabba the Hutt, you fat, slovenly, no good, lazy. Oh, come on.
All right, we got John with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
John says AMP did women reactions a whole year before when MTR was still doing Insta help vids. Yikes. See, this is what I'm talking about. You try to take credit and everybody has the whole thing is on YouTube for everybody to look through everybody's video catalog with the correct chronology so people can be correctly attributed. Tommy's catalog has been erased, so people try to be funny with shit, but people still have memories. People still remember the years that they listened to Tommy first, so you can't get those ones off. Let's get it.
I was the first content creator to talk to women.
No, you ain't.
Day after day. Look back to my content back in 2019. I would take a video from Steph is Cold. Shout out Steph. I take a video from AMS. Shout out AMS. And I would have a pretty young thing sitting right next to me, and we look at the content, and react to it. And let me tell you, I got so much flack at that time period for doing that. I was the first creator ever that ideated the idea to have these conversations with women. Because
stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
These conversations were happening well before 2019 on YouTube. I even had a conversation on my old podcast. Well, not my old podcast. I got to get back to that page. On Blunt Talk with LT. With women before then. So it's like, what the hell? Are you taking credit for that? Many folks have done this shit.
What did I always say? I said you can't have the education without pressure testing it against reality. Because once you pressure test it against reality, you can understand which components of the education actually makes sense. Now, I will say that what I did was nowhere near as entertaining as Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, and probably not Access Vegas as well. Forgive me, I haven't seen much of the content from it. But yes, I was the first content creator that was associated in this space that had these conversations. These conversations are live still on my channel. Anyone in my audience, feel free to go back in there and you'll see the type of conversations that I was having at that time.
Shout out to John with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Soto is Obama era. MTR and RP came during Trump. Yeah, the red pill came during Trump. Yeah, 29. Yeah, that's facts. Let's get it.
Anyway, guys, I believe that's the rest of his comments. So let me wrap it up right here. Shout out to Rollo Tomassi. I really appreciated hearing your comments. And I think especially as someone that has much time within the space and has seen so many of the different transitions, I appreciated hearing your feedback regarding me and kind of the state of what it is that you see over here. And the thing is, guys, all my G's that watch the channel right here, understand this. Feedback is a gift. And it's something that I mastered when I used to work back in corporate America. I was a fiend for feedback because whether or not I agreed or disagreed with someone, it gives me enough information to do damage with. Right? Like if I don't accept feedback and I just go on a straight and narrow path, how will I know what my boundaries are? How will I know what my roadblocks are? How will I know what is the thing that can set me to another place or set me over the edge that will make me better than the rest or differentiate me as I go into the future? So
no, that's bad. That's bad. I agree with him. Feedback is good. But this is the type of shit that allows folks like Lush to jump off the deep end with the feedback that they get from the crowd, because people get crowd feedback and audience will boost, or the audience will spice you. They'll get in your head and gas you the fuck up. And people definitely get on an ego trip. People definitely get ego trips from their fans and the feedback that they get. Complete ego trips, and they think that there's someone that they're not. You have to be bound by your own principles. That's what you got to be bound by. You got to always understand what you're doing, check your blind spots, be self-aware, and be bound by your principles, and then you don't have to worry about these things. Nonetheless, feedback is important, because I definitely enjoyed watching Robbie break down the situation I had with Fatty. That was hilarious. Like, I wasn't there to see it live, but I caught the replay. That shit was funny, actually seeing what they think about the podcast and watching people react to the show. So that was funny. But let's get back into this.
For that, appreciate Rollo and his comments. But inevitably, we just do content in a very different way. And depending upon how we choose to do content, we'll garner different types of audience bases and foundation.
Sorry. I'm gonna let this play.
Beneath that, you know what I think actually happens in these YouTube or these content creator streets is that if you do content, and maybe it's because your audiences may cross-pollinate, but if you do content to similar types of audiences, but you guys, never talk, never speak, like maybe one might say something about the other person, it can come to a place of like, does this person got an issue with me, or does this person have a problem with me? It's just like similar, like if you walk into like a party or an establishment or something like that, and then like everyone's,
we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
I think that's the thing that a lot of content creators get fucked up. Like, we actually have personal issues with the content creators. We don't. It's like we see these videos online and we critique or we assess or analyze what we see in the videos. We don't know you personally. We know what you put out there. So we could only judge based on what we put out there on your channel. So we don't know you personally. I don't know why people take it that personal. Like, it's your content, and it's what you decide to do with your content. So I guess there is some person into, but man, it's the content.
Dapping each other up, but there's that one dude across that like you haven't dapped up, and then time goes by, you think to yourself like, does he not like me? Does he have not have a problem with me? No, there's no problem whatsoever. Rollo, if you ever want to reach out, I'd be more than happy to have a private conversation with you. We ain't got to do nothing for the YouTube streets. Just to build the bridge, just to connect, okay? Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. What you guys think about the reaction here today? Do you guys agree with the things that I'm saying? Have any angst regarding the things that I'm saying here today? Drop me some comments down in the comment box below, and we'll make it a discussion, all right? Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
See, that's the corny shit I'm talking about. But it is what it is. I gotta get back to Moxie's comment, man, because Flacco got cooked. That was so bad. Moxie said Rollo must be proud at Flacco giving himself a vasectomy by squeezing his lard ass into them skinny jeans. Never knew spandex could stretch that wide. And there we got Flacco getting the live vasectomy on air. His tight ass jeans. Jesus Christ.
I know like too much about the Tate brothers before 2022, 2021, right? Mm-hmm. So when Tristan Tate like comes out and say, "Don't compare me to those red pill dorks," like what's your reaction?
You hear that, Tristan Tate? Don't compare me to the red pill dorks. We spoke on this. What did we tell Tristan Tate?
Stop it. Get some help.
It's like you were the red pill. You know what's so hilarious? The folks, the Tates, talk about the Matrix more than anybody. The Matrix this, the Matrix that. So how are you trying to disassociate from the red pill again? Where was the red pill from? The Matrix? Wasn't this whole thing derived off of the Matrix? So it's like when you... The copium, man. People just be trying to cap and just, man, it's ridiculous.
Again, it's just, it's rebranding is really what it's about.
Yeah.
Because I've done shows with Tristan. I've done several shows with
low as hell.
Andrew. I've done more shows with Andrew than Tristan.
Yeah.
The last time I was with the both of them together was on Fresh and Fit back in December of 2021.
Yeah.
And my good friend Justin Waller is very tight with them as well.
I love, bro.
Yeah.
I love Jay Waller.
You need to get Justin in here.
Please.
As well.
I love him.
But he, he's very tight with them as well.
Yo, come on, Flacco. Flacco be interviewing people and just be kissing their ass and dick riding paws. It's like,
you over trying to get people fat.
You gotta stop doing it, bro. You can have a normal conversation.
I can text him right now. I got the number, but it's to me anyways. It's more of what is going to be on brand for the new version of these guys. What's going to be on brand for the next 18 months? What are people going to be about? I will give them this. They will keep their finger on the pulse of what's going on in social media and what the cultural, societal, like in global societal narrative is going to be. And honestly, I kind of see that as sort of this again, it's pushing away from the parts that they didn't like and sort of keeping us pick and pull red pill. So when we say, well, we don't want to be affiliated with those guys, that's exactly what I've just been saying. Yeah. It's when you look at, say, Andrew and Tristan.
Trill to Trill TV says, shout out to you, bro. I rock with the show heavy. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, but shout out to you.
I kind of expect that from them. I understand. I know who they are, and I like the guys quite a bit. Yeah. But, when you're looking at people who have sort of built their name like within the last 6...
Okay, so he talks about a bunch of topics here that we're about to break down, but I'm going to stop real quick, take a 20 to 30 second commercial break as y'all get the likes up. Thank you, chat, for getting the likes up. Thank you, viewers, for getting the likes up. I appreciate y'all getting the likes up. Now we shall wait. Yeah, I retire, bro. I'm out. We have like half the show left. I retire. I just have a bunch of ghost watchers, a bunch of people that do not fuck with the show at all. Yep. We're dusty. We are dusty. Might unlike. John might unlike. Jesus Christ. Everything's dusty about the show. We can't even get the shout outs right on the show.
I need a soundboard. Do I need one? I need to get one. I think I have some buttons here. I don't know how to use it. But shout out to LTT. Or how do you say him? LT? LTTV? Can we just call him LT?
Maybe I'll take this time to fix everybody when it comes to my name. I am LT, host of LTTV and Blunt Talk with LT. It is shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
The lead attorney got it on his first try.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
We got O'Shea. O'Shea got it. Mike Brown back with LLTV coming through like Angela struggling.
I need a soundboard. Do I need one? I need to get one. I think I have some buttons here. I don't know how to use it. But shout out to LTT. Or how do you say him? LT? LTTV? Can we just call him LT?
Yo, why do we always get to LL or LTT? Like, why do we all do this? Why is it so hard to say 4 letters? Now, I'm not getting at Angela. Shout out to Angela Knight. But everybody fucks this up. Why is it so hard? Whoops. All right, let's get back into this, y'all.
8 months, maybe even the last year, built on the Manosphere, and now suddenly it's like, well, we're not really Manosphere, we're not really Red Pill, we're just Red Pill adjacent. We'd like to have them on once in a while, kind of thing. But I think it's just sort of this gradual kind of sunsetting themselves out of the Manosphere so that they can move into something else. Because, like I said before, getting into that culture war narrative doesn't play well with spin more plates, right? It doesn't. Absolutely. It doesn't play well with dating non-exclusively. It doesn't play well with open on my end and closed on her end, right? Yeah. That like I would love to say if I was to have Tristan and Andrew here, I would say, so do you still believe in the open on your end and closed on her end? Is that now still part of is that still on brand or is that not on brand anymore?
Of course. Now, so like nobody in peculiar, right? But do you feel like,
yo, what is with these things? Yo, these fucking acronyms.
Is it? Okay, so do we count this as grifting then? Like, for example, if you are in...
Grifter, dude. Huh? Everyone's a grifter.
Okay, so this is the point where Rollo tries to drag everybody down with him.
Ain't nobody got time for
He says everybody's a grifter. But hold on, right before I get into that, let's get into this, y'all. 16 Bar King with the $10 super chat. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
I fucks with it heavy. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
Someone said shout out to CCTV.
No, you ain't.
I'm gonna. Do you know Hotep Jesus?
Yes, I love Hotep Jesus.
I'm gonna quote Hotep Jesus.
Yeah.
Everyone. This is not me.
Yeah.
Hotep Jesus says everyone you know is a grifter. Do you ever watch the Grifties? Like he does like the Grifty Awards. Like at the end of the. I actually was the announcer for the first the Grifty of the Year award.
A word?
Yeah, on his show. But he would say this: it's like everyone you know is a grifter to some degree. Everyone is a grifter. It's what you give back. The true essence of a grifter is somebody who just takes and takes and takes.
Yeah.
If you are a grifter and you give something back, like what are you giving back to people that you are taking from? If there's actually some exchange of value, that's the difference between somebody who's like really about what they're talking about, other than this is the new hotness and this is what I'm just going to get into.
So who's an acceptable grifter to you, and who's an unacceptable grifter?
An acceptable grifter.
Yeah. And who's an unacceptable one?
I'm an acceptable grifter.
Hey,
everyone's a grifter. As I said before, everyone is.
No, you ain't.
An acceptable grifter. What is an acceptable grifter?
To some extent. Well, what did I just say? I said, everyone who if you have an Instagram account, if you have OnlyFans, if you're grifting. If you're an influencer, you're grifting. Yeah. If you are. If you have online courses or something like that, a knowledge-based thing, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's a grift, it's a hustle, because what happens is people start to sort of So it's what's called ego investment. They invest their egos into their brands because their brands are what they're about.
Of course.
What I've been noticing recently, and I wrote about this in the introduction to this book, is that when I see people who are all brand, that's when you've kind of crossed a point, you've kind of crossed a border, right? And so when your personality is actually your online persona.
Now, y'all are saying that that's not grifting, that does not define grifting. Of course it does not. Rollo is absolutely tripping. He's trying to throw everyone in the mud with him because folks are calling him a grifter. They're calling people like Pearl a grifter. They're calling all these red pill folks and manosphere folks grifters because they're getting finessed. People are getting finessed. They're getting hustled by these folks, so they're calling them grifters. Not everybody's a grifter just because you're a grifter. This is people misusing the definition of grifter once again. We see a lot of the times there's these trannyisms that are practiced in the manosphere red pill space where they just want to redefine words and expect everybody to go with them.
All the time. That's when, like, I want to talk to the man, right? I would like, don't like, can we just have a conversation about fishing or your hobbies or some shit like that? Can we talk about normal shit? When I can't have that conversation with somebody, that's when grifting becomes like you become your grift, as opposed to like what is your honest to goodness personality versus the persona you created for yourself to sell whatever it is at yourself.
Well,
that's facts, tailor-made. He definitely did that with vasectomy. He tried to redefine what a vasectomy is and act like, oh, you can just get it, and a few years later, it doesn't matter, a decade later, just reverse that, snip, snip, snip on. I'm like, what? What you talk? You just redefined what a vasectomy was. Like, the likelihood of it being reversed successfully drops precipitously after the first 5 to 6 years. So you don't want to be, especially when he was trying to encourage young men in their 20s to do it. It was something that, it was terrible. It was terrible. All these folks do these mental gymnastics to redefine terms to fit narratives that they want to espouse on their viewing. And it's like, come on, man. Anybody can see through this basic grift.
Well, here, right? So, like, I wouldn't count you as a grifter, and here's why, right?
Okay.
I think, like, a grifter means, like, you're going to get, like, for example, like, you don't believe nothing you're saying, right?
Right. It's hustle. I mean, I get the hustle part of it.
It's a play, you know?
Yeah, but, I mean, I think that even the term grifter, right? I mean, if you want to go and look at the Wikipedia entry or the dictionary terminology, yeah, that's one thing for sure.
So during the Ethan and Pearl debate,
here we go. All right.
Yeah, right. If you feel me, right?
Shift gears.
Yeah, right. Pearl quoted one of your studies, where like you was talking about it, right? And she said that that violent felons have more kids than non-violent felons, right?
That was my study, actually. That's Rollo Tomassi who brought that up. But
yeah, right. And Ethan asked her to quote her source, and she said Rollo, right?
And of course, I'm quoting Steve Stewart Williams. I'm quoting Rob Henderson. I'm quoting God Sod. I'm quoting.
Are they louder than me? What is the audio like? It's kind of peaking a little bit on my end. Let me just.
Ralph Dengen, I'm quoting Dr. David Buss, right? I'm quoting those people, but like, what was Rollo? He was the one who told me this.
Yeah, right?
Clean up my mess. I shit the bed. Come on, clean it up. Yes. Yeah.
No, right. And then Destiny accused you of texting Pearl talking points like mid-debate.
I don't say jack shit to Pearl anymore. No, especially after that bullshit she pulled with Nick Fuentes, man. No.
Okay, speak on that.
I do not talk to Pearl anymore.
So he's dropped Pearl. He denounced Pearl. We have somebody in the back. Who is in the back? Turn on your camera, please. Caller in the back with the name 666. All right.
Get him out of here! He's got no place in here! Get rid of him! Okay.
Right? I've completely cut her off. She is.
Why?
Because she's a shit person, man. She's just she's a bad actor, man. And I the whole thing that.
No, that sounds like cap. It sounds like you ran out of opportunities with her. Shout out to John with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Says fat hoe really slurping Rollo D for his RP come up. pause, super pause. We might have to hit the pause drop on that one. Shit.
Stick together. Pause. Knows he can have it. Pause. You see what I do when I got the rock. Pause.
Let me just put this in real quick.
This is Daniel, by the way.
Went down with Nick Fuentes on the first pass, right? I didn't care. Like people go, "Oh, what do you got against Nick Fuentes?" I don't have anything against Nick Fuentes. What I have is against Pearl, because it's like she's talking to Nick Fuentes like she doesn't know who the fuck he is. I'm like, he was just on Tim Pool. It was the most watched, live stream that Tim Pool has ever had. He had Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, and Milo Yiannopoulos are on, and probably Sneeko in the back somewhere, right? All of them on there, and they walked off the show because Ye started talking about, the Australian or the Austrian painter and the Germans of 1938, right? Yeah. And so he walks off. It's like the most watched show that Tim Pool has ever done, and you don't know who Nick Fuentes? Get the fuck out of here!
Oh no! Well, right? And then a month prior, right? So Adam asked her, "Would you date Nick Fuentes?" And she said, "Yeah."
Yeah, see, she knows damn well who he is, but my problem had nothing to do. And everybody thinks now I have a problem with Nick Fuentes, but it wasn't that. It was the fact that she was trying to say, "Well, I didn't know who he was." That's how she operates. I didn't know. No, you did fucking know, and you got caught with your fucking pants down. Yeah. That's why. So I was trying to be cool with her. I had people saying,
now even Rollo can see that when Pearl plays the whole oblivious card, it's absolute bullshit. Oh, I didn't know this. It's for her to be unaccountable.
Hey, man, maybe, I was actually for Mike Sartain, because Mike Sartain wanted to do some interviews with her and stuff. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'll reach out to her, talk to her. I started, mending fences with her, and I'm trying to do that recently. I've been talking to Mike Rashid recently, and I like Mike quite a bit. But so I'm kind of trying to put out olive branches and say, hey, maybe we got off to a bad start kind of thing. I was actually trying to help her during the whole time when she was getting accused of being a racist. And you had was it MTR, Mediocre tutorial reviews guy was coming at her really hard, and all these people were giving her a real hard time. And I was trying to say, hey, look, you're gonna have to weather this. So I'm trying to be cool with her. And so we had something going. I was talking to her somewhat regularly for about 6 weeks, and then the tweet came out that I put out, which was the vasectomy tweet, right? And then she was like, "Oh, do you want to talk about it? We'll have you on the show. I want to interview you." I'm like, "All right," I'm thinking, okay, now maybe it's okay. I'll go do it. And I even was saying "Hey, look, I'm cool with her on my own pod."
So this is long after he made the comments that I reacted to, that his fans reacted to, that they said he was hating on her. This was long after that. So you knew who she. Man, this is all these guys just playing the game. They knew exactly who. Man, let's get into this.
And everything. And I get on there, and for the first 20 minutes, she's asking me about it. I'm trying to explain, what my thought process was.
Virtually or in person?
No, it was on StreamYard. It was Zoom. No, it was a Zoom call.
Zoom, okay.
It was a Zoom call. And so I'm on there, and I'm talking to her, and she seemed like she was all about it. And then she's like, well, 5 minutes before we were supposed to go, she goes, "I'm going to take some phone calls, during the thing." I'm like, all right. Fine. Sure. It wasn't phone calls. It was Isabella Moody. It was Nick Fuentes. It was Bryson, and then there was another dude that was on there.
She ambushed you.
And Glenn actually came. I invited Glenn.
Oh, she ambushed you then.
Yeah, basically ambushed me. And Nick Fuentes is on there, and I'm like, really? And again, they're all just waiting in the wings, and she brings them in, at a certain time, and I'm like, so that's where this is at. And I just said, fuck this, and I bailed out. I didn't have anything to do with her anymore after that. I'm just
she tried to go viral.
Well, yeah, because she wanted to. She wanted to jump on the fact that the tweet that I had was getting I got a response from Matt Walsh. I got a response from Ben Shapiro. I got a Lauren Chen.
Now, Pearl would call that doing an interview in bad faith. Remember when she complained on the H3 podcast about, I didn't know that this was a bad faith. Everybody just tries to come and jump people and do all X, Y, and all the shit she was complaining about, she replicates on the other side. This is why people cook her when it comes to her looks and her results with men, because all she ever does is chastise women that get on her show and call them modern women and tell them what they should be doing with their life. So people are not reluctant to let her get all the smoke. Well, let's get into this.
Trying to think who else was responding to it. So I was getting Ruslan. I had that tweet went to 7.1 million views on that. And so, of course, she wanted to jump on that. I was happy to give it to her at the time, but now I realize that she just wanted to bring Nick. Even after we had all this conversation about Nick Fuentes, I'm like, okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
that is fucked up. And so, of course, what I said this. I said, look, I started talking about like, you know, the elves. Yeah, so I started talking about the Germans of 1938. Anything that I knew that YouTube was going to have a problem with. Trust, if you're going to, I've made this statement before. If you're going to ambush me on you're going to ambush me on your show. I'm going to talk about I'm going to bring up every word you're not supposed to say on YouTube on your show. And I would suggest anybody who else.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Now, I would be pissed the hell off if somebody did that on my show. I got them into a corner, and all of a sudden they just start doing shit they know is not good for the guidelines. That's some weasel shit, Rollo. That is some weasel ass shit. Trying to weasel your way out of accountability and getting pressed on certain points, so you just start saying things that you know is not viable for YouTube. That is slimy. That is slimy.
Gets ambushed. Bring up Transformers. Bring up everything that will get you a hard strike. Just bring it up. Just start talking out of your ass.
That's so amazing, bro.
That is a lack of accountability. That is a lack of accountability. You did not vet the people that you are going to interact with. You didn't understand who you were engaging with. You would bring yourself to a platform to do that. That's a lack of accountability. You should have understood what you signed up for and deal with it accordingly.
That's your only line of defense. Yeah, and she removed it as a result. I'm just like, I'm like. That's...
At the end of the day, it's Pearl, and that's Pearl's content that had to be removed. That's Pearl's time who was wasted. So at the end of the day,
we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
Continue on, Rollo.
That's what a shit. You want to talk about grifters?
Yeah.
You want to talk about people who don't?
Oh yeah, she's a grifter for sure.
Yeah, you want to talk about people who are disingenuous, dishonest brokers? That to me, that's it right there. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
So to say that, to accuse me of like texting her during Ethan Klein, I'm like,
yeah,
dude, you clearly have not been paying attention for the last like month and a half here.
Man, wait, listen, all right, because so one, bro, like a Rollo and Nick Fuentes like debate is worth much more than just the Zoom time. You feel me? Like, right?
Yeah,
like y'all two coming together.
I'm pissed off. Get it together. Y'all look like trash.
That is y'all in the comment section cooking Flacco 24/7, calling out them tight ass jeans. Are you amused?
Together to like has to be like an actual like
shit
event for the culture.
Nick Fuentes is auditioning for the role of Richard Spencer for the next upcoming election cycle. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to remember, like, during the 2016 campaign, during the last one, during the 2021, there's always a cast of characters. Like, they're always the same characters are there, but the actors change, right? So, like, I remember when Mike Cernovich was a big deal back in 2016. Like, where is he now? He's not really doing much of anything. But that sort of that guy who is the on the street, you know, on the ground kind of, you know, citizen reporter. That's a role that somebody's going to fill at some point. The Richard Spencer role is Richard Spencer's gone, right? But but now you've got Nick Fuentes who wants to be in that role as well. So and by the way, if you go back and you look at like who was popular on social media during the election cycle of the 2016 and then 2020, you'll see a cast of characters and you'll see those same characters. They'll be played by different people, but they'll all be, those characters will still be there because that's what informs the narrative that gets you from, you know, January of next year to the second Tuesday in November, or the first Tuesday in November of the same year.
About me on stream today. Can someone link it?
Okay, so that's it for that interview. I guess that's all the shots that he took. Chronic Introvert said about Flacco's pants. Hold on. Let me scroll up and find that comment. Hold on, y'all. That I had to hold in that laugh. So, man, hold on. Where's that comment? You said, dude got a moose knuckle. Pause. What in the fuck, bro? What? Man has a moose knuckle, bro. Oh my, man.
About me on stream today. Can someone link it? And guys, link me everything that happened in the chat. The Discord has been dry. Make sure to join the Discord link in the description if you haven't already. Make sure to follow the stream. What are we at? 265,000. I want to get to 500K on Rumble. I think that'd be huge. And if you want, also sign up to the creativity. Get both watches. Destiny is done playing nice with Sneeko. Calls him out for being submissive. Oh no. A gay guy's calling me submissive? Somebody who actually sucks dick?
No, I'm laughing at the chat still. I'm dead. Oh man. Yo, okay, so Sneeko and Destiny are beefing now. They're having a fallout. Destiny is breaking down what he thinks of Sneeko and Sneeko's shit. Hold on, y'all. Oh man, let's just get into this. This is self-explanatory.
Is calling me submissive? Someone like, I'm not saying this, like I'm not, bro, we aren't Fresh and Fit and we were behind the scenes, and I mean, he's already public about this, so I'm not exposing anything, but Destiny was literally talking about, we were talking about guns, and Destiny's like, all the guys that hook up with on Grindr have this type of gun, because I brought my Glock to the studio or something. And it's like, every dick that I suck, the owner has this type of gun, so he's just calling my gun gay. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean every guy that you hook up with on Grindr has this gun? Like, what do you mean? Like, I thought it was like a one-time thing, and he just randomly said that comment. Oh, thank you for the 10, Steve. Forgive your mother, Sneeko. You're starting to overcome this stuff already. Thanks. Okay.
Destiny pretty much says that Sneeko will get around the guy that he deems the most alpha and try to emulate his behavior. That's what Destiny said about Sneeko, and I don't think Destiny's wrong. I think Destiny's right about Sneeko's behavior. I think he gets around the person that he thinks is the coolest or the most alpha, and he really tries to emulate them. We've seen it with the whole Andrew Tate saga, where he was literally trying to become Tate. But let's get into this.
You doing therapy on me, fucking gay boy? No, but like literally, like the title of this video is like, my problem with this. We'll watch it and see what he says. But
a lot of these entertainers in the red pill space specifically, I said this before when I was on Tommy's show. I said people in the red pill space in the manosphere are overly sensitive, overly emotional. They hate when their points get challenged. It hurts them to the death. They have to respond to everything. It's pathetic. I'm not saying Sneeko in specific, because Sneeko doesn't, I don't know if he's that reactive. I haven't seen him react to everything. But folks in the manosphere spaces specifically are very reactive and very emotional. They're not really built to be a content creator or a public figure because they don't know what comes with it. But shout out to John with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
That new Tate evidence that just dropped on A&P. Shocking face. So there's new Tate evidence that dropped on Abba and Preach. Is that today? Are you trying to make my audience leave so they can see it? Hey, yo. Because I'm doing the show and I'm still trying to see it. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, shit. That dropped 11 minutes ago, my nigga. Hey, yo. New leaks show group chats of Andrew Tate bragging about trapping women. Yikes. So he has group chats leaked. I'm gonna have to check that out after. But thanks for fucking up the interest in my own show now, because god damn. Let's watch it. Do y'all know what I gotta do to watch it? I have to download the videos because I have so much things in the process, back processing. I don't watch things on live because it gets in the way with the download speed. So I generally download videos to react to them. I don't react to them live. Yep, let's focus on this though.
People who use homophobia to try to belittle straight people. Like, you are not allowed to call other people gay if you are actively sucking dick on Grindr. And the fact is that they're ashamed of it because they always use it as an insult. The title of this video...
Yeah, I don't understand that. I never understood that. It's like you're gay, but you're trying to use gay as an insult for other people. And then there's women that will defend gay folks in the LGBT all day, but then they'll try to look for a man to call them gay and shame them. It's confusing. It's weird.
And what he's saying in this clip, I haven't watched it yet, it's like calling me out for being submissive. they know that being gay is wrong because they will always use.
Being submissive is something different, though. He was saying you're submissive to the men that you get around and you try to emulate their behavior. So there still can be some truth in his statement, although he kind of shamed you with the gay stuff. But let's get into this, y'all. Let's break this down.
Use it as an insult. You see how many people have all the feminists that have called Tate gay, all the people that will call me gay, but it's never really from straight people. The only people that will call you gay as an insult and to belittle what you talk about, gay people. Why is that? Because deep down, they're ashamed of it. Deep down, when they're scrolling on Grindr, sucking strange penis at bars, they're degrading themselves knowingly. It's a fetish thing. Let's watch.
Some guy keeps drawing me Sneeko comments and emailing them to me. They're pretty funny.
I saw a couple of those. They were pretty funny.
He got pretty mad.
You know, he's a smart young man. You know, he's just a little confused.
He is smart. He is confused.
Yes, Moxie. He was saying Destiny was sucking peen on Grindr. That's what Sneeko's saying.
But I mean, like,
Pause.
smart people could fall for cults, and that's where he's at. Rip.
Yeah, smart people could fall for cults, right? Okay, the LGBT is a cult. That is the strongest cult in America right now because people like him are atheists. They don't believe in anything, and so the religion is always replaced with something. If you don't know how to extend faith and believe in God, you can at least realize that people will always need some sort of religion. And for all these blue-haired people in the West, LGBTQ has become what they worship. So you pick one. Believe in the creator of the universe or dick sucking.
It does make me curious.
Isn't he like a bandwagon Muslim now? Like he just tried to hop on the bandwagon and become Muslim? I don't know. What does he believe in? Who is he? Christian, Muslim? Where's Sneeko? Sneeko's ideology be all over the place. One week he's encouraging people to get cucked. The next week he's super alpha, don't ever do that shit. The other week he's in the middle. Like he's all over the place. This is what I'm talking about. He just be espousing rhetoric to folks while learning. He's always constantly learning something new. And he's easily influenced to new information. So it gets very confusing. I can't keep up with this kid.
Because I've seen a couple of his older videos, even where he's like a little kid playing Call of Duty. And it's like, wow, this kid has a stunning amount of insight into like the human psyche and like the human experience. And like, I wouldn't expect this from a little kid. And now I listen to him and it's like, wow, this guy is just boilerplate internet personality selling the idea, 101. Like, what happened?
He probably has I think he just has like a mindset. Here's something that I noticed. This is gonna sound mean and shit. Actually, I don't give a him. I actually don't care about him anymore, so him. He can think it's
Okay, so he's about to go in. Pause. They were friends at one point. They did a lot of work together, a lot of debates together, a lot of debates against each other. It seemed like they were friends, but this is a falling out. Everybody on YouTube chose a particular time to say, yeah, this is falling out season. Fuck everybody. Fuck these niggas. We out. Everybody's like falling out. There's all sorts of beef. We're going to cover a lot more today. Let's get it.
I think that Sneeko's problem is, Sneeko,
two men gossiping about me. Okay, look, I don't know who this other guy is. I have no idea who it is. And chat, I'm tired of repeating this rhetoric, but people like this who like to, I like to watch his old videos. He's really introspective. If you break it down what I was saying 10 years ago, it was the same thing, but just less eloquent, but it sounded like really smart because I was younger, and also I was questioning the world more. So it comes off as like...
Shout out to Random University with the $2. Sneeko was like Cartman trying to find his dad. Jesus Christ.
It's more endearing. I wasn't saying anything revolutionary. If you watch the videos from back then, I know because I made them and I post them still. It was a lot of motivational. This is what I want to do in life. This is what I'm going through. It was therapeutic. Now I have a more clear worldview, and so people who disagree with me now, they love to look back at the old stuff and be like, oh my God, he was so... For anybody who's saying that I was smarter or that I was more inquisitive back then, give me one quote from back then that doesn't represent what I talk about now, or that was more insightful from what I talk about now. It's disingenuous when they say that.
He wants to present himself as like a very alpha type character, but I think he's actually like a really good follower or submissive type character. I don't know if you've noticed this, but you
see the psyop, him trying to fucking Bomboka! Just because you suck dick doesn't mean that other men need to do it too.
Problem that I've had with him personally, and when you watch...
What? He was just calling you beta. He didn't say...
any.
You see the psyop him trying to
Present himself as like a very alpha type character, but I think he's actually like a really good follower or submissive type character. I don't know if you've noticed this, but any.
You see the psyop him trying to fucking. Just because you suck dick doesn't mean that other men need to do it too.
Now, see, he's reframing this now. He's saying that you're a submissive follower type character as a man. He's saying you're a beta pretty much. And you're taking it into territories like what?
That I've had with him personally, and when you watch him, what Sneeko is always doing is he's always looking to the top man in the room, and then he's becoming a clone essentially of that person. If you look at a lot of the issues that I've had with Sneeko, it's usually been him cloning himself off of the top man in the room and then echoing whatever that guy says about me. So when Sneeko was in the room with Muslim people, talking about how important their religion was, he was echoing attacks against me about like making fun of Islam. When Sneeko was in the room with Zerka,
I did that even in the room with Zerka. I was calling him out for being Islamophobic, and then I told him to disavow other religions. If he said he hates Islam, I told him to say he hates Judaism and he hates Christianity while I was in the room with Zerka.
Making fun of my kid in his car the day before, the next day Sneeko is making fun of me and my son. Because
no, I make fun of your fatherhood because you like right now. You're saying you're trying to be mean and make fun of me. I make fun of that because you're saying that I'm never going to be able to get married. You make fun of my religion. You make fun of my faith. You say that no father is going to ever want me to marry their daughter. So if you're going to criticize my morality, I'm going to make fun of yours. I'm going to criticize yours. I've been thinking it, just because I didn't say it since the beginning, I've been thinking it. You are not in any position to criticize somebody and what they do in relationships when you left your son to go play StarCraft in Miami. I'm not saying that in a way to try to...
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, what's going on here? What in the hell is this? What? You left your... In what context? Why is this nigga talking about his child? What is going on here?
You are not in any position to criticize somebody and what they do in relationships when you left your son to go play StarCraft in Miami.
You left your son to go play StarCraft in Miami. Who did he leave his son with? The mother? Like, I'm so confused. Why are you bringing up the... Like, I'm so confused, but let's get it.
I'm not saying that in a way to try to expose anything or be mean. It's very public. And he's going to go and compare it to Tate and say that Tate's father was a chess grandmaster, blah, blah, blah. He was flying around. Destiny, you're a multi-millionaire. You have no reason. You have no valid reason to be across the country playing Factorio in your room around hoes instead of raising your son. You could do both. Some fathers have no opportunity. They are poor. They need to travel. Don't say that you're the same. Right now, you could quit streaming forever.
Destiny has a kid in Nebraska and he left a single mother there. Wait, hold on. Hey, you know, let's get back into this, man.
And provide for your son. But you don't.
Because he's looking to Zerka for guidance. He did the same with...
I don't look to Zerka for guidance, chat. Does anyone here think that? How much do I criticize Zerka for the alleged drug use? For being unhinged?
All right, hold on, y'all. Let me give you all a little bit of game. Stop sharing all your personal information. The things that can hurt you if it's exposed to the public. Stop sharing all your personal information with fellow content creators. Most of these folks are not your friends. They don't have your they're not looking out for your best interest to that extent, especially when things go left and they're not principled. You see shit like this happen all the time. People just airing out dirty laundry when things go left. Vaughn's right. You can't tell folks nothing. You can't tell man, as soon as things go left, they just airing out everything. And you know how YouTubers go. They trying to give out intimate details and everything that they know that can hurt you publicly and destroy your brand whenever they're offended or whenever they need to take that W because it's in front of the world and everybody's judging. So everybody's ego is like fixed to everything. The ego's on max when you're on YouTube. Everybody's in their ego. And it's like you see things that you didn't even see in a person before as soon as they get on YouTube and they start getting into these squabbles. Shout out to John with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Put that on screen. Destiny and his baby mother mutually split. And he went and bought her a nice house. He also gets Noah regularly. Noah has been on streams. Okay, you know the kid's name. All right, so Destiny's doing his parenting thing. Although he has the mother's a single mother, but nonetheless, man, let's get back into this.
For being for being hypocritical about Christianity, for partying, stuff like this, and then repenting immediately. I go back and forth and I criticize him all the time. It's good to speak to other people who are on the right path, but we disagree about so much. I don't look to Zerka as a role model. Does anyone here think that? And even the Z's. I'm the type of guy to be posting Z's in the chat too, just like you people. I don't look up to Zerka for guidance. We agree on a lot and we disagree on a lot. That's what friends are for. That's what's good to have people that challenge your beliefs on.
I'm sorry, TaylorMade said the kid's name is Nathan? Wait, which one is it?
Patrice O'Neal, when it came to trying the open relationship stuff, he looked at Patrice, he copied him, and he did it. He did the same with Fresh and Fit when it came to like getting initially into the red pill stuff and copying their relationship styles. He looks to them for that. I think that he has kind of like a very follower mindset.
Okay, then who's the follower mindset when I disagree with Myron for wanting to get 50, for advocating that men need to have 50 bodies? For saying that it's not worth it, that it's a waste of time. You can understand that hoes are hoes, and you don't need to fuck 50 of them. You don't need a 50 body count in order to understand female nature. I've disagreed with them on so much. I've criticized Fresh since the beginning for chasing materialism, for always being about cars, for thinking that life needs to be about all this flashy Instagram stuff, for the fact that he's always filming like this everywhere he goes. I criticize them. I go back and they criticize me. They say I'm a leaf in the wind. Just for the fact that you could take in different information and you don't know everything automatically doesn't mean that I'm submissive. Bro, you see the gay angle that he's taking this? He thinks for the fact like he's listening to the alpha male instead of me. That doesn't mean submissive. That means you can learn. That isn't like somebody like Destiny will sit in his room and play video games all day and then cope for the fact that he's losing debates to people like Nick that are 10 years younger and never change his point of view. I will talk to somebody like Sheikh Uthman, Ryan Dawson, and then I'll take in different information and then understand where I may be wrong and adapt and grow and become better. If you're ever at a point where you think you know everything and that you're gay, that's what submissive means, for listening to other people, then fine, but you're never gonna change.
And if there's no horrible corrupting influences in his life, it's good. But if there's somebody around him that really wants to turn him or convert him, like he's very attracted to like ideologies or cult-like people. I think he would follow them to the end of the end.
Okay, so if that was true, then how come when I spent 2 weeks with Ryan Dawson, the guy who destroyed him in a debate in 2015, absolutely annihilated him to the point that Destiny's afraid to speak to him? I spent 2 weeks with Ryan Dawson every single day. Me and Ryan Dawson disagree about so much. Ryan Dawson's an atheist just like Destiny. I don't agree with him. Ryan Dawson makes fun of flat earth, makes fun of adrenochrome, makes fun of a lot of stuff that I kind of question and dive into, and I tolerate some of these ideas and talking points, and he completely says you're retarded for even believing in that. I disagree with Ryan Dawson on so much, and I look up to him. I would say Ryan Dawson is a role model in so many aspects, for the fact that he's a great father, for the fact that he analyzed what's going on in the West, his geopolitical analytical skills. I look up to him. Doesn't mean that I'm submitting, you fucking gay boy.
Sneeko's lost. Sneeko is absolutely lost.
That he analyzed what's going on in the West, his geopolitical analytical skills. I look up to him. Doesn't mean that I'm submitting,
you look up to another man as a grown man. You're constantly looking up to other men. You're always pedestalizing other men, always looking to learn from them, always using them as like a father figure. He is submissive. Destiny's right. He's the underling to all these folks. He's the beta around. He's always seeking out the alpha in the room to try to mirror their image or mirror. Man, come on, man.
Fucking gay boy. Why does everything need to be gay because you take ideology on?
Yeah.
How much of that do you think is intentional and how much do you think is like subconscious?
I don't like the word subconscious. I don't think it's intentional. I think people just have like different personality styles, basically.
Or are you suggesting, Mindwaves, that he's doing this for audience capture or something like that, and that secretly he's like, I don't agree with this guy, but I'm just going to get their audience or something like that?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering how much of it is strategic, right? To just like yes man the
no, I don't think any of it is like, I don't think he does it for clout or strategic reasons. I think he genuinely will look up to, if there's a man in a room that he respects, he'll look up to that person and begin to emulate them very quickly. You know.
You think there's some
So think about that. If that were true, then Destiny, I've spent quite a bit of time with you, debate panels, watching your stream. Why do you think that's never happened to you? If you're repeating that, then think about that from his point of view. If I emulate the alpha male, if I'm emulating the top dog, and I've never emulated Destiny, what does that say about Destiny? Beta. Sorry.
Go analytic.
It may say that about Destiny, but it does not disprove the fact that you're trying to emulate the top dog. So it doesn't disprove his point. It just also throws Destiny into the beta list with you. And you said he's gay, so why is this a surprise? He is bisexual. He is gay. He is... It would not be... Like, come on, man. What?
Big reasons that he like wants acceptance, and
it's probably relatively normal for a lot of people, I would imagine. I just see it more with him than anybody else. The funniest part where you can see this, I noticed this, somebody pointed this out in a comment, I noticed this, is that Sneeko tries very hard like to hold frame and not even laugh sometimes in podcasts. I misheard somebody when they made a Weinstein.
Well, come on, man. Chat, I die laughing so often on stream. How many clips are there of me dying laughing when I find something funny? The only time I'll hold it in is when I'm moderating a debate between two people that I respect, and I don't want to laugh to show that I'm...
Oh, we got Angela Knight in the chat. Shout out to Angela Knight. We got to give you a mod. Wrench, something to look out for your channel out in the chat, because the chat be packing folks out. Got to get you a wrench here. We protect content creators out here in the chat. Well, some of them at least. Let me update this real quick.
Picking sides when they're trying to get the moderator to join their side. That's just not true.
Joke, and then I made like an Epstein joke, and for some reason everybody started laughing, and you can see that Sneeko wanted to, but he held himself and didn't do it. And like I can only think that he's thinking that like laughing is kind of like beta, so he needs to like hold frame.
Bro, this dude is fucking... Bro, you laugh so hard that you are coping about my laugh and how hard... You really think that I'm that, like, into the red pill that I think laughing is gay? What the fuck? Chat, what?
But it's like, at that point we're at like such ridiculous caricatures of masculinity that it's like, Jesus, yeah. But I think he's just doing it because that's, you know. Destiny, you saw this, right? Nah, Sneako's some Griper using bots to like his reply. Oh, the Griper people are hardcore supporting Sneako's fight against me. Nick is really good about doing with his
My bad, Angela. I did not know you were in the back. Give me 1 second.
Good. I was just hopping on.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to mod you, but my computer's lagging. I don't know what the hell going on today. Let me pull you up into the front at the scene. So you wanted to react. What's up, Angela? Let me talk to you real quick first.
I just came on to troll with you for a bit because I see you're going through reactions. So I was like, oh, I feel like I'm a little bit late though. So I don't feel like if you have to backtrack, no big deal.
Oh, okay, that's cool. See, this is the thing. There was a segment earlier in the show when I was reacting to Rollo. Hold on, let me switch this up so we can see each other. Yeah, so I was reacting to Rollo and Rollo's comments. Remember that thing I sent you earlier? Now, I'm going to try to steal the moment because you said you were going to react to it, but what is going on with Rollo when he makes those accusations saying that you are also a criminal? What part of the game is that? What is that? Can you confirm or deny the allegations?
Yeah, 10 years ago, I was a criminal. I'm a hardcore criminal. He's comparing me to Donovan Sharp and MLD because those guys have a history of beating women and they have like a felony and all this crazy shit on their thing. Compared to me, I was a petty theft child here. I was living in my car. I was being a hoodlum at the time. I went to this grocery store, hanging out with my hoodlum friends, and I was the only Asian girl with all my black friends. So obviously I stood out like a fucking sore thumb. But because I only had black friends at the time, I didn't realize that there's a skin difference that I would stand out. I just thought we all act the same, we look the same, we talk the same.
Why did they have to be black friends? Why was it the blacks influencing negativity? Or was it you influencing the blacks?
So, the funny part was because I grew up in the project. So to me, it was very normal. But when you go to the public's eye, it's not normal to see a random Asian girl around black people. It's not normal. Like, I don't care what anyone says. At least, like, for me, I grew up around, like, in the projects, and my family was more so, like, why are all your friends black? And I'm like, well, we're surrounded by black people. What do you mean? Like, I go to a school where it's probably black people, so what do you want? And I got shitted on, like, my own family, where they were just kind of like, we want you to make friends with Asian people. I'm like, but there's no Asian people here. All my friends are black. I don't care what y'all say. It is what it is. So I got into a lot of shit for that, but I just didn't realize, like now that I'm older, I could see why so much chaos would happen, because I was always the only person in the group that wasn't, skin color. I was not black.
Yeah, so you stood out. Yeah.
Yeah, so, we would late nights, I used to smoke and all that stuff, hanging out with people, just hoodlum shit, and then we'd go to the store, late hours, and then, at the time I didn't live with my family. I got kicked out because I was a fucking, just a mess. So next thing you know, I just kind of stuffed some stuff in my bag, got caught, because I stood out like a sore thumb. All my friends that I was with, they all scattered out. They all left.
Oh,
so,
jeez. So you're the only one that got caught?
Yeah, it was only me because I was like completely idiotic about it, and they scampered off. They ran off. Everybody was gone. So yeah, I went to jail for, I think it was like $30. It was like toothpaste, shampoo, like little bullshit stuff.
Wow.
But
They brought you down to the station? Did they put you in like a holding cell?
They were not. I spent the night in jail and everything. My family did not know. They didn't even know until my. Hold on, let me turn my TV off real quick. Hold on.
Jeez. Yeah, sometimes you got to be doing that because some people don't realize some of their shows. I don't know if they have their families and their people them watching. But my mother watches my show. My grandmother watches my show. My girl watches my show. My bro. A lot of my family watches my show. So at the end of the day, it's like sometimes I don't even remember that, and I be talking about some racy topics. I'm like, wait a minute, my mom gonna see this. Like some of the Adam 22 episodes when I be talking about shit, I'm like, holy, do I even think who's gonna be watching this after?
Yeah. I definitely, that was kind of like the ass whooping that I didn't have, because I had an older brother who got ass whoopings all the time, but I never got ass whoopings. I just got scolded a lot. But my family was like really strict. I had a second family that adopted me, but they were really into me working all the time, which is essentially what I didn't like. I was like, I want to go to school, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So I spent the night in jail, and next thing you know, I had no one to bail me out because I don't remember how old I was, but I know I wasn't old enough to bail myself out. That's all I know. So in my mind, I could have swore I was 17, or maybe you had to be 21 to bail yourself out. I don't know. It was between the two.
I don't know how
I spent the night. I don't even know. I got out at like 6 or 7 a.m., came home, took a shower, went straight to work as if it never happened. And my family didn't know until I think like a month ago, when the red pill dork people like made fake accounts and had it all over Twitter, and Rollo Tomassi claims to be like Mr. Godfather Red Pill, whatever. He's like, oh, I didn't do the homework. Like, somebody just sent it to me. So fuck what? People send weird shit all the time. You don't repost it, you dumb shit. But he did, and he's taking accountability for it, which I think is pretty lame. And I'm like, man, you're a sad old fuck. And I just think it's so lame that he acts that way, but he talks about like men needing to lead relationships. I was like, you wonder why women have their guard up in the West in general, and why women are so defensive, because when we deal with men like that, you can see clearly they're very malicious, they're very calculated and petty, and I'm like, you're acting just as petty as a woman. You wonder why we don't have respect for men like you, and it sucks. So yeah, there's that. He's being a little bitch.
That's exactly what I see the most from the red pill manosphere space, that I like to call out and highlight so I could lament it for these folks, and so they can understand. You're having some dusty results. Women aren't looking at you the right way. They're not respecting you because you're emulating behaviors of women constantly. And you're doing it and saying, oh, it's in rebut to what women are doing, but that's just justification for acting like a woman. It doesn't matter what a woman's doing. There's no reason for a man to ever act like a woman. But they do that, and then they get the results, and then they cry and they complain, and they realize why people are looking at them that way. But the only thing that will save a lot of these dudes is accountability.
Yeah, the accountability, it stops me in my track as a woman. Like, if I'm in like rage mode or like emotional, and like you take accountability, I'm more likely to like sit there and reflect on myself. But like, oh shit, like there's no beef, there's no fight. I don't have to like defend myself because you already stopped it right there. You put the brakes on it. I think that would change the game a lot better, because it made me realize, like, holy shit, like for me, I recognize that for myself. If I just take the accountability, like, yeah, I was a hoodlum at the time, I was doing the absolute most, but I'm not the same person anymore. I don't care. Yep. It doesn't bother me when people bring stuff like that up. So I just think it's funny when I see them use it to, like, one of the things, I don't know, you're familiar with B. Taylor, like I recognize with her and other women, including my old self, they use anger to control you. So for me, it's like, you're not going to control me. You want to bring this shit up, I will laugh with you, and then I'm going to roast you, because now we're not having a civilized conversation. I'm going to go ahead and roast all you motherfuckers, since y'all think I'm a little goody two-shoes. I was like, I put this part of me way back there, try to be civilized for men, because I do recognize there has to be a certain respect when dealing with men. But if you're not going to come to me with respect, I don't owe you that shit. Now we're just two motherfuckers just trolling each other, and that's easy for me. That's an easy win for me. So crazy shit.
What I've noticed is when you speak to women on the internet and you just speak to them respectfully, not on some manosphere, you must submit and be the feminine, quiet one while I speak 24/7 on the show, and my opinion is the only opinion matters. When you give that type of energy and you just expect them to be like your woman personally, because I don't know how they deal with their women personally, but if she's just a woman on the internet, you should never expect that. She's just another human being that you have a conversation with. This whole, I should dominate the conversation and only my point should matter because I'm a man man and it's the manosphere. I look at that, I'm like, that is corny. That's not setting up for any good faith conversations. And y'all all complain about bad faith conversations when you're ending up on the losing end of the stick and people aren't buying into your talking points. And that's when they start complaining and being like, you're derailing, you're doing X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, you just don't want to lose.
You know who was on the thing last time, and you were going over this with Duke? Ali, if you see this, you're a bitch, bro. You're an absolute bitch. I would say it to your face, you're a bitch. His tonality with you is so different versus me. He was over here like with you and Duke, like, yeah, brother, like I don't want no disrespect, but like, shut the fuck up, man. You're coming at me absolutely outrageous. You're not my man. You can't even keep your baby mama in check. You're trying to keep me in check. He's over here telling me how to fucking, you need to respect a man. When a man is talking, you need to be quiet. Here's the problem with ignorant motherfuckers like you, which you don't understand. The problem with you thinking you have to enforce respect, it's hilarious. Respect is something that you earn. Like for LTT, I've spoken to you maybe like twice. Yep. I respect you because to you don't pick sides. You're not simping nothing. You be like, yo, Andrew's right, Andrew's wrong. This is right, this is wrong. I can respect that because I do recognize when I say things like, I should have thought about that. But I hate the fact that if somebody speaks and aligned with some sort of logic and it's coming from a woman, oh, you're simping. Y'all are simping. Fuck all of y'all for saying that, because that's some bitch ass shit, because you can't understand what I'm saying. Like him and Fatty right now, they're playing the victim shit, because to them, they're like, oh, you come around, you backstab us. I didn't backstab you. I called you out for not actually owning what you said. You flip-flopped from what you said. You backstepped and backpedaled on everything. And then I see when you talk to other people, you want to change the story around. Be like, no, that's not what I said. Fucking liars. If you want to pull up the stream, unprivate those goddamn videos, we can pull back the thing and we can timestamp everything. Y'all are fake, you're trifling, and if it's for entertainment, there should still be a little bit of accountability as a human being, but you don't want to own that shit. So I just think it's crazy how they have to enforce women to respect them. It's bitch ass shit. I'm gonna call it for what it is.
That's facts. Let me get to this super chat real quick before I get into that point, because I want to discuss a few of those things that you spoke about. Anti-Gravity 74 with the $10 super chat. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
Says Rollo is a habitual doxer. He's a habitual doxer. What? He's doxer almost, I guess you say he doxed almost everyone in the sphere with any clout, but he cries when others do it to him. Pathetic for a 50-plus-year-old guy. Yikes. Okay, so yeah, man, these people play foul with their doxing. He tried to get channels removed if he feels ambushed or he's on the losing end, so he'll say stuff that's bad for the guidelines. Like, that is some slimy business. And when it comes to Ali and Fatty, I was actually going to save this for another stream because I was going to leave it alone. I was literally going to leave it alone after I said why I don't want to be a part of working with people, because I take the content serious. I'm a content creator. I'm doing this for the long term. This is not no quick short-term finesse. Fatty, I see them and the manosphere shit that they're doing. They don't really take the content serious, because if you took the content serious, after one debate getting cooked, you would have not privated everything on your channel and took it away. He was debating points and trying to do this whole weird dick measuring shit, pause, where he's talking about the views and the money, but he was very... He was on the money. He was looking at, oh, what is your super chats? Oh, you don't mention your ad revenue, X, Y, and Z. For me, it's about content first and foremost. I've taken mad L's on videos that could have been monetized, that did a lot of views, that I left unmonetized, or I left a copyright in there for the content or for the quality of the content. So we look at things completely different. And what I was trying to explain to him is we are on complete ends of the spectrum when it comes to this YouTube game. We don't do anything the same. You don't know what principles are if they slapped you in the face. So my whole thing is he did this thing on his last stream where he tried to say he was principled now, and he was going with the rhetoric that I espouse on my platform. I'm like, bro, you don't know what principles are. You took down the stream after you're talking shit. You're talking shit in your stream about me again, and then you're throwing rocks and hiding your hand. Like, this whole thing is pathetic as hell. Ali is a whole different story, but I don't know too much about Ali to give too much commentary on Ali. I only know what I've seen in the past, few days, and what I've seen him on Lapeef and on Fatty's panel give his commentary here and there, but I don't know too much about him to go in depth. But what I've seen from you and them, like, Fatty pays people. Like, he said he's paid his guests and he does those type of things. So he's doing some form of good business, because a lot of in the black space, I don't want to say the black space, but in this space in particular, like the black YouTube, the manosphere adjacent spaces, and those, you know what I'm talking about. I'm struggling right now, but these spaces, people don't really, it's not like payments, it's not like business oriented, it's more of like a friend looking out for a friend and promo to promo. It's like, he actually pays people, that's good for business, but you can't pay to ambush and expect the fact that, oh, you're paying so I can do anything to you in your public image and I have my way and I'm going to be right just because I'm paying. I'm not saying that's what he's saying, but it seems like that's what they expect because they pay. I'm not sure. Him and his whole Anton situation.
I saw the whole, like, what I don't like is how money overrides the entire life principles for a lot of people that I've seen navigate through that space. I think that's pretty whack. Like when the one dude was like, I'm a paying customer. What type of entitled, I wish somebody in my community would say some stupid shit like that. That does not override anything. You could pay, but if you're out of place, I'm sorry. You're dumb for donating when you should have known respect comes first over everything. I think that it's the entitlement that if somebody subscribes, this is the generation we live in where just because someone subscribed to you, like an OF girl, you have to date them, you have to give them attention. That's the entitlement bullshit. And I saw that in that channel. I was like, all right, that's your channel, that's your community, you're used to that. I don't fuck with that. My only problem with Fatty was the fact that he backpedaled and we had a debate, sort of, it wasn't even moderated, but whatever. It was like all women were hoes, and I was trying to clarify, like, what do you mean when you say women? So my title, he says it was clickbaity. I'm like, it's not clickbait. You said that shit. And he's like, where's the timestamp? Pull the fucking stream up, man. You have that shit private. How am I supposed to find the damn stream?
Exactly. And this is the thing this is what annoys me about Fatty. Fatty comes to channels trying to police people and their content, how they make it and how they title it as well. And I'm like, you do the same thing because we're content creators. You're trying to make a grabby title for people to jump into the video. He made a title called Anton Threatened Me or something like that. It got me in the video. When I was cool with Fatty at that time, I was like, okay, what's going on? Anton's threatening, he's doing X, Y, and Z. It got my interest. He's like, nah, he's just doing a Thursday show to compete with the Lapeef show and X, Y. And I'm like, okay, so you know what it is too. He plays intentionally stupid sometimes. And E Black was on the show where he was talking shit. E Black was talking nothing but sense, nothing but logic. The whole panel was like, oh, E Black, you simping. You simping. I'm like, what? How does that even make sense? E Black wasn't even taking our side like that. He was just telling Fatty to be more accountable, understand whose attention you're soliciting, whose panel you're jumping on, understand the layout. He was basically giving Fatty the accountability talk, and Fatty refused it. Fatty called him names. Aaron O gave the same speech, but Aaron O was shouted down. I don't even like. Aaron O is an Anton underling. I don't fuck with Anton underlings, but he was even talking sense to Fatty, and they didn't want to listen. And I'm like, okay,
they don't. But this is my argument to all of that. Is like you claim those guys will they flip flop. They conflate a lot of things. Where say these are the principles that men stand on. Men are logical, women are emotional. I'm like, so when the logic is being presented, you reject it and you say, well, I'm not part of the manosphere. I'm not part of the red pills. Then what the fuck are you? What are you then? Like, are you a little boy then? When I said that, one guy was like, you don't call no black man a boy. Where did race come into this, man? How did you get, like, why are you shadowboxing in your victimhood already, bro? Like, no one's talking about race. So to me, it was like, this space and that channel is specific to me. I was like, listen, I can be here for the entertainment. I'm fine for that. Like, I know what I signed up for. But when you're dealing with people who just, like, want to victimize themselves, I'm like, don't come on my channel and expect me to be like your channel. I think that's pretty lame. And then expecting people to be enraged. Like, I'm never gonna get mad over some content creators, but I will troll the fuck out of you when you're acting ignorant, which they are. So I'm gonna troll the hell out of it. I'm gonna say that shit all the way to the piggy bank since y'all want to be ignorant. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
Wait, did we lose him?
Oh, my camera.
Okay,
my camera. One of my cameras died. I've been on for too long. I'm on my secondary camera. So if you're on YouTube, they can see me, but you probably just see the Sony imaging thing in the back.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it takes much to recognize like who's like just being real in this space. And by being real, I think that when you put money and you put it over everything, that is no difference than an OnlyFans girl saying like, you know what, I'm gonna put life principles aside, put money first. So even though you're doing it for the money, you're still sacrificing sort of qualities in life. I recognize those people in this space. Like, I recognize you. I like Duke. I think E Black, other people that I've recognized in the space that are like, listen, we're doing it, we're streaming, but the money isn't isn't overriding the channel. It isn't the whole purpose of it. It's appreciated. It's great, but it's like, it's not the one thing that overrides, and I can see that, and I think that that's really cool. I wish more people were like that, but it's just it's pretty evident, and it shows the contrast in what everyone's doing.
I think that I think people misunderstood my whole gripe with Fatty, and I think Fatty's or either that or he's purposely misleading folks to try to derail the whole point, because for anybody in the audience that follows this space and knows certain characters, it is just like E Black. If E Black was over doing panels with Mike TV, Zesty TV, building Zesty TV's channel, having Zesty come on his channel, doing that, meanwhile telling us that he doesn't hate him, he hates Zesty. Zesty put copyright strikes on his channel. Zesty's doing all these personal attacks. He hates the guy, but then he's being seen with the guy. So at that point, I'm like, okay, that's what Fadi was doing with Anton. And I'm like, Fadi, you don't get it. I have a video where I was speaking about y'all's situation. I looked at that video, realizing the things that I've learned in the past couple of weeks. That video sounds idiotic because I was led astray. The information pertaining to their relationship was absolute false. And I value the quality of my content. I like to be correct. I like to get I like to get the facts that I'm speaking about correct. If my opinion might be wrong, it is what it is. That's life. But I like to get all the details right when I'm speaking about this thing, like somebody that's in normal aggregate media. But I don't think these guys look at it from a media perspective. It's more of a money grab. Let me get as many views as possible. Let me get as much. Like, I don't look at it the same way. And I'm not being ultra critical, but at the end of the day, it just shows the fact that we are diametrically opposed in our views when it comes to content creation.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that a lot. I think the one thing people misconstrue in this space a lot is that we don't have to agree on everything. We can agree on some like commonalities or some sort of respect. I think it's weird to have to agree 100% on everything. I think we're gonna have disagreements, and that's totally normal. But we can at least acknowledge at least where you're coming from. Like if you say something that I personally don't agree, at least I have to understand where your state of mind is at. But I'm not gonna sit here and call you delusional unless you're fiercely just being obtuse for no fucking reason. And I'm like, okay, maybe you're just doing this for clicks. Maybe you're just trying to disagree with me.
That Hink comment. That Hink comment was like, okay, you're trying to have a gotcha moment. You're trying something. Because sometimes I'm starting to think too, when I go over the interactions we had with Fadi, I think there is a language barrier with Fadi. I think that he doesn't have a strong command of the language, because there's some things that just he doesn't interpret it well. Like, he doesn't understand it. We'll be saying something, or you said something to him, especially in the regards to being a boy, not looking at him as a man. I think he's looking at things one-to-one literal because he doesn't understand the nuance of English. I think there's some of that. Because even when I was talking to him, I'm like, do you not hear the point that I just made? He would ask a question. I'll give him a valid answer to the question, and he'd be like, you didn't answer it. I'm like, did you not comprehend it? Did you not listen? Do you have selective listening? Like, what is the issue? That's what I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think there is selective listening there, and that's why I was saying, like, I don't even know what this is at this point. Like, I think you're just fighting just to fight. So to me, it's like I really don't have time to continuously entertain it. Although I think I will cover it tomorrow, since I'm covering Tomassi and everybody who's being a bitch. So I'm just gonna call everybody who's being a bitch. I'm like, first things the quickest way to get a girl's panty to dry up is to act like this. I'm just gonna pull up everybody that is just explain that, because the deflection, the derailing, all of that nonsense, and then you're gonna sit here and make it seem like I'm doing what? Because the thing is, I recognize manipulators. This is what people do. When you don't play into what they want, and you're not going to be angry and triggered, because they're used to women being angry and triggered, because that's how they get the aha, I gotcha moments. And like I said on B Raw, so this isn't an aha, gotcha moment, bitch. I know what the fuck that is. You're talking to a girl who's been doing this shit for a minute, and at least for a year. I know how snakes move in this space. I'm like, and to understand a snake, you have to be a snake when necessary. So if you want to take it there, we can take it there. I don't give a shit. I was like, we don't have to take the moral road. So it's unfortunate that there are different compartments to how people move, but it's just the reality. And they want to fucking facts over feelings. Here the fuck you go. So we're about to go tomorrow.
That's facts. See, this is the thing. I notice that folks, like, I'm going to give the hood some credit right now. The folks that I know that are from the hood move a little different than the folks that are not from the hood. They're more like, we're more socially aware. We're more socially adept. Where we actually, like, I don't know, there's like levels to that they're not like participating in. I noticed that, like, E Black is like an OG, but he's from the hood originally. He's like a grown man who's he's doing his work professionally now, but he's from the hood. He has a good awareness when it comes to these spaces. He knows how to maneuver these spaces, and some people don't know how to maneuver these spaces and constantly come up victims. Because I was noticing on your channel, there was a comment that Fadi left, or Ali left, and there was 28 replies, and these guys just needed to be right, and they needed to like put you in your place for some, I don't,
yeah.
And then they put something on their community post saying you're leading people astray and you're clickbaiting. I'm like, you invited this young lady to your platform to do an interview. Things are to do a debate. Things didn't go your way, and now you're slandering the channel. It's a little weird. It's like, handle your business a little bit better.
It's been like that with me and Ali for like Ali has this thing where he likes to write like Bible scripts. He just like he doesn't know how to keep it short and simple.
I seen it. I seen it on the page.
Yeah, but he did it on my Instagram also, and then he always has to have every last word. So to me, that tells me reflection of how he is in relationships, aka that's why your baby mama ain't in the picture, because you don't know when to shut the fuck up. Because at the same token, and I will throw shades all day long. I don't care. And the reason why you can't throw shades at me because you don't know my life, because I'm not dumb enough to put my shit on the internet. Whatever is out there is already out there. I don't give a fuck. It only makes me look a bit more edgier than the beard that's covering the little bitch ass that you have going on. That's the only thing that's saving you from even being roasted at this point in your shitty ass rap community that you did. Go back to making shitty music, because that was the only thing that gave you some sort of credibility. And at the end of the day, it's dorks like that feels like every last word is going to save him. You're not doing nothing but making me more disgusted with you. And every woman that looks at that 28 replies that you have to reply every single time, it doesn't matter how you reword it. You lost me, brother. You lost me. Because he's over here saying, like, you just want to be my baby mama. I would rather change my gender before I fucking had your baby, bro. So please. 86 that motherfucking thought. You're a fucking idiot.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, fucking ignorant motherfuckers. They be like, oh, you being a victim. How am I being a victim? If anything, I'm being a motherfucking villain now. You're the victim. So apparently that's what it is. Yep. So yeah, bless your soul for dealing with that. I can't deal with it. This will be my first and last interaction with them after tomorrow once I go live. And then it is what it is from there. So.
Jeez, I wasn't even planning on speaking about this again. Honestly, I got through most of the reaction. I don't think I mentioned them at all. But let me read the super chat again. Random University with the $5 super chat. Random University says, MTR took an unnecessary shot at Angela reacting to the MLD video from SoCast or Soscast, whatever, Sauce. I don't know how to say that. Yeah. But is still claiming to not be a part of the manosphere. Yeah, the video we reacted to, he claims to not be part of the manosphere, but all he ever does is cape for all men and try to reinforce the value of every individual man with this participation trophy culture for men. So,
yeah, MTR isn't. He claims that he's not part of it, but he is. He just thinks he isn't. But like, all of his content still covers all this stuff.
Yep. I wouldn't say he's not part of it. I would say he's definitely a part of it. I want to get to this reaction though, because there's a key moment in this video that I was reacting to prior to the call up. Sorry, Angela.
No. Am I interrupting? I can get out of here.
No.
I just wanted to
you could stay for the reaction. This is Destiny and Sneeko. There's one part I wanted to get to before I wrap this up, because Destiny may have said. He may have put his foot in his mouth at one point in this stream. So I want to make sure that I heard this right. It should be in the next 2 minutes. Let's get it.
Community, what people think I do with my community. If you follow Nick's Telegram, he's really good at like directing his audience to different tweets or different social media outlets to give him a really good impression online. They target YouTube comment sections really well, and they comment Twitter really well. He's pretty sophisticated with the utilization of his audience. He's probably got one of the most loyal communities next to mine that I've seen on the internet.
Yeah, Maddie got ratioed twice.
You and Sneeko beefing for real now, or is this?
Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm past that. I'm good.
Dang,
it's just too
this
much.
Isn't one of the you guys coordinated in DMs, and
it's like it's annoying because like he's like flowers for Algernon, but I found him like when he had taken the smart pills and he slowly like regressed into like the mouse brain or whatever.
Jesus.
Like when I'm sitting next to him in a show and he's like, "This is what you guys do with your far leftist progressives." Like, bro, do you even know who the fuck I am? Like. I just said the N-word to you like 15 times like 2 minutes ago. How are you going to say this about me? You know, like...
Right there. He admitted on air on his own stream that he said the N-word to Sneeko 15 times in his presence. Sneeko didn't care. Destiny doesn't care. What is with this new revolt with folks getting on the internet, saying the N-word chest out, speaking about saying the N-word chest out with no ramifications, no cancellations, no anything. I'm not the person that campaigns for people to be canceled, but why are people feeling so emboldened to get on the internet and start attacking black folks? Because that's what it is. It's an attack on black folks when you just think you can get up on here and say nigga, because nobody, actually I can't say that. Yo, I'm talking to the wrong person. I'm talking to Angela Knight. You were just on a panel where they came for you so racist. Oh my God, I just remembered that. A bunch of black folks going outside. Now this is killing the point. I remember that. They dropped you off and they said some racist shit in the chat. And then they were trying and then they were like, oh, because you said Fatty was a boy because he's not a man if he lives at home with his parents and he has no responsibilities or no principles. You said that's what a boy was, not a man, and that would be seen as a boy. They tried to turn that into some race baiting shit, meanwhile being racist to you. Okay, so this is not a moment of me being, man, forget this. I'm just going to drop this one. Destiny, whatever.
No, I don't want to kill your stream. Let me get out of here. This is contradicting them.
I wasn't part of that moment though, but I witnessed it. And I'm like, I'm not saying too much about that.
No, it's always gonna be that way. I'm pretty much used to it, which is why, like, because I grew up, like, I've changed so much in my vocabulary, my tonality, all of it, just to be where I'm at now. Because I recognized when I was younger, and I did when you're living in the hood, it's almost okay, I guess. But once you grow out of it, and nobody will believe where I came from. So I can't be walking around like that. I can't be talking like that. I can't be normalizing shit like that. So to me, it's like, I don't understand why, like, the mainstream, like, red pillar guys are trying to, like, Zerko throwing the N-word around like 1,000 times. I find it so bizarre, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then you turn around, you see it's being done in multiple ways. That them calling me Mulan and Chink and all this shit. I'm like, all right, so y'all doing the exact same shit, but you're mad if somebody else does it. So I don't really play into. That's why I don't do politics and stuff like that, because it's a never-ending, like, finger-pointing game with that.
Yeah, I think it's a wild push for racism now. Just to, like, cause people on Rumble too. It's like the push that they want to do. Like, let me say something racist, and I'm gonna get a lot of clicks, and I'm gonna create a stir. And you're right about that. Because a lot of folks are more focused on their own racism and how it affects them, and not how they're racist to other races. I get called or I get looked at as like super pro-black, and so like on my platform, when really it's just I don't tolerate disrespect much. Like I don't tolerate the disrespect. So when it's like racism towards our race, I'm like the first to jump up and say something. So I look like I'm the super black person, like I'm super pro-black, which I am B1, but I'm not. Pro-black is an arbitrary phrase, so I don't say that. Nonetheless, I don't like racism of any type, so I'm not going to espouse racist rhetoric to your group, the white people, or any type of group. That's what I stand on this platform, because none of this shit. People act like they're race because they're the minority. They're impervious to being a racist. Like, oh, I can just say all the racist things, and if I don't have a system to back up my racism, then it's not racism, and that's false. I don't buy into that.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Yeah, let me get out of here though. I want you to continue doing your reactions, and I just wanted to tap in there and see what was up. But this is a great conversation.
Shout out to you, Angela. I'll make sure to call in on your show when you have a panel, because you have some good conversations over there. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to Angela Knight. Mods, if y'all want to spam her channel in the chat, y'all.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll see you around.
All right, bye.
All right, take care.
All right, so Destiny put his foot in the mouth and said the N-word, but chest out, there's no outrage over this at all. And I think the difference is when it comes to this, I just thought about it as I was speaking to Angela about it. He admitted to saying the N-word in front of Sneeko. He did not say the N-word on air. He did not go out there and disrespect the public and say it on air and do that stuff. Like, I know folks that are outside of the race aren't supposed to say the N-word, and we have no tolerance for that, but let's be real. That's why when I was talking to Angela, we know in certain hoods and certain pockets, people give nigga passes all the time to their friends, whether it be the Asians, whether it be Mexicans, whether it be any white folks sometimes even get a nigga pass and in certain hood pockets, but they know they don't take that shit outside of their hood. They don't do the cash nasty thing, or what's that other rapper's name? Stitches. They don't do that type of shit and be like, you know what, I said it in my hood, I'm from the hood, I'm white, but I'm gonna say it on air. They don't do that shit. They know better. Nonetheless, I'm not influencing folks to say any type of racist rhetoric just for the mere fact of saying the racist rhetoric. Now, I hope y'all didn't think that I'm backpedaling off of my B1 stances when I'm trying to clear up the whole pro-blackness, because I heard somebody else say on the other channel that my weakness is my pro-blackness. And I'm like, I'm not pro-black. Pro-black is very ambiguous. I don't know what the criteria of being pro-black is. I just don't tolerate disrespect from other race groups, or I don't tolerate the racism. That's all it is. And I do build with my black family first. So be one. Let's put it that way. All right. LTTV, I don't know her channel, dear. Her channel is... How many mods do I have? Oh, did I make her a mod? I forgot. I was supposed to do that. TG in the chat. Could TG help? Angela Knight's channel. Who else is in the chat? Which other mods do we have in the chat? Great Pill. Great Pill, you over there, man. Great Pill, share the link, please. Somebody, please. Share the link. Can't be doing these, Wait, congrats on 10K subs. I have 10K subs?
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to Black Hokage X for the $3 Canadian 10K subs. So if that's true, I think I'm still 9 point something. Oh shit, I'm at 10K. Do y'all know? Let me tell y'all something. I have not uploaded on Instagram in a hot minute. I have been waiting patiently, grinding out to 10K subs. I put that rule on myself. I said I'm not uploading anything on Instagram until I hit 10K subs on LTTV. Because I had 11K on Blunt Talk with LT. That channel got sniped. Tried to bring it back, revive it with uploads. Got sniped again. Now it's back. I can re-upload on that channel, but it's not monetized. I got to build that back. We're 10K strong over here. Shout out to us. Let me get some applause going. Hold on, folks. I'm actually all over the place. I wasn't prepared to take a call. I don't know why I opened the call line. It kind of derailed the show, but shout out to Angela. That was a good conversation. I was rambling for periods of the time, but it is what it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody subscribed to the channel. Mike Brown says I almost got 10K. Almost. I swear I seen 10. Yeah, let me check on another device. Yeah, I'm at 10K, man. I'm at 10K. Let's go. Just so we're clear on this channel, everybody in the chat, so we're clear, do y'all understand the separation from Fatty's brand? Because folks are acting like they don't understand. I did some sort of malicious fuckery, X, Y, and Z. Do y'all understand? It says 9.9K on your phone. Let me show y'all something. Just so people can understand if they don't already. Let me show y'all something, because this is very insightful. Me and Fatty, we're completely different. And I didn't even want to make it to the point where it's all these personal ad hominems and we're just shitting on each other and doing multiple videos going at each other. But at the end of the day, he went on these panels. He was going on every channel and every comment section talking the most shit possible, talking about finances, talking about all sorts of shit. But look at this. Look at this, y'all. And this is what I was talking about before. All right. So this right here is my most viewed. All right. Live streams, not uploads. I don't take the L's on the uploads like that. I got to make sure everything monetized. We trying to leave here with something. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to be dusty out here. We trying to leave with something.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Someone said, I can't hear anything. Look what you see here. J Prince gets cooked. This was the real J Prince, not the YouTuber one. For the takeoff death. Copyright. 200,000 views. I could have easily removed the TMZ copyright as these went up in views. I left it because the quality of the content mattered as it was scaling up. That is what you call a loss leader. That will grow the channel. That will bring a bunch of subs. They'll have people appreciating the content. But this X'd out the money. No money on the top. The Vice special that I reacted to. The Andrew Tate special. Not monetized. The Skip Bayless reaction, not monetized. These all have over 100,000 views. This would have been big monetization, big ad revenue, but I would have had to remove certain things to damage the quality of the content. So what did I do? I chose to make that a loss leader. These ones we left with something. This one recently got demonetized on some fuck shit. I left here with something on this one as well. But the top three, no. Fatty would like to talk about the ad revenue, not the ad revenue, the super chats, and we're jealous of super chats and all the other bullshit he's talking about that we don't give a fuck about because this is a long-term play. This is establishing a brand with credibility, integrity. We are completely different. We value different things. I wouldn't ever remove my entire catalog and private it. And what he said on the channel, talking about, oh, it was because of Jen on the Block. Jen on the Block incident happened a long time ago. She put her copyright strike on him a long time ago. July 10th. This video is no longer available due to a copyright claim on Jen on the Block. July 10th. So if it was Jen on the Block that shut down your channel, you would have took down all the videos from July 10th. So his excuse was cap. He called in, he got cooked, he felt a ways, he was like, I'm being exposed, people see who I am. They see that whole Anton thing is cap and we're just trying to make money. And I'm like, I'm not being part of that cap because it ruined my story. I sounded like an idiot. I rewatched that video. I'm like, it sounds like I know nothing of what I'm talking about with the context provided with the relay. So I was like, I'm not doing this, bro. Like, what are you doing? Trying to sully the content at that point? And then I go at his chat, or his panel, the way Angela did. His panel they're very low IQ, a lot of them. So of course, certain things they won't be able to interpret or understand certain things when you're saying them to them. There's a lot of issues on that channel. I give the channel respect. I like the marketing scheme. I like the whole bounty system. That doesn't change just because I don't like you. I was gonna save this for another upload because we got a lot here. There's a lot pertaining to this. He went on these panels and spoke a lot of shit, trying to get the last word because he was salty of what happened on this channel. Like, it is what it is. Nobody else is faking the funk, or around me that I see. I would not expect to see E Black on Zesty TV's channel building his channel, and then Zesty TV calling his channel. I would not expect to see Lucky on Daryl Long's channel, building Daryl Long's channel after all the things that they've went through and all the things that I've heard and you know, the shit that happened. Like, it would seem weird. We would need an explanation to see that happen. Because then we look like we've been finessed for attention. And I don't take part in that.
No, retard. I was talking about communism and how leftist ideology was created by a certain group of people.
Halfway.
But you fucking spazzed and laughed at this feeling before I finished my sentence. Chat, communism was created by a certain type of person. Transgenderism was pushed by a certain group of people. Like, it's not about I'm not trying to be like, bot, NPC, but that's what he thinks and that's what they all think. It's that a lot of his talking points and a lot of what the left believes was not... They don't believe it because it wasn't pushed with good intentions. It was pushed. A lot of these leftist ideology were pushed as control mechanisms. Just like climate change, just like everything they put in their bio, just like attaching empathy to the vaccine, just like attaching empathy.
Oh, fuck off, man. Don't say that word on this channel. I should have vetted that film properly. Yeah, that's my fault. I should have definitely vetted that and edited that word out because that's what lost me another channel. When you have those discussions about that, that's when you see you know what? I'm not even saying shit. I'm not saying shit. Goddamn. Yeah, Fatty was over there on the Raw B channel when Raw B was doing the reaction to what happened, and he couldn't help himself but chime in every second in the chat. He called in to slander my name. What else did he do? Yeah, he was stalking Angela's chat when Angela had B. Taylor on. And then he called in to Angela's stream and he went out sad as hell. Sad as hell. Hold on. I'm actually gonna man, I wanted to be done with this shit. I don't really give a fuck about this Fatty situation anymore. At the end of the day, he has nothing on his channel. He hid all the evidence. I think he hid it because he's like, oh, this nigga might react to something, cook this, bring up this, compile this. I'm like, I don't care. I wasn't planning on doing none of that, to be honest. When I seen that channel down, I was like, oh my God, why did he take it that damn serious? He could have just went his way. Hold on. That's the whole thing. Team Fatty with the $1. Surprising. Hold on.
I'm getting rich.
Sorry, y'all. I'm adjusting a lot right now. Fatty, what happened to your channel? Fatty said what happened to his channel, but I didn't buy it.
Either I'm just someone that likes to.
Fatty, let's be real. Is there a language barrier, bro? Is there some things that you don't understand because you don't interpret the language well, and there's certain nuances to English that it's not one-to-one? Because listen to this right here. This is what I'm talking about. This is what made me think about it. I was like, there might be some sort of comprehension issue with some of the things that are being said. Listen to this, man.
To get to is, I'm not saying that you have to agree. I said it myself. I remember saying we don't have to agree on anything, but we at least have to come to an understanding, at least acknowledge. Like if I say all women are not hoes, and you go to say all women are hoes, I'm like, well, wait, this doesn't make any sense, because that means, let me clarify, that means you're saying every single woman is a hoe. That means your sister, your mother, your niece, your granddaughter, your aunties, your abuelas, all of them are hoes. To me, that's not really a fair assessment. And I said
that's
to
fair.
And
Angela, that's fair. But this is the point, Angela. When I got you in a place, what you say is, that's not a woman, that's a hoe. That's not a woman, that's a hoe. That's not a woman, that's a hoe. Okay. Imagine you talk, like, I'm not used to talk. This is the first time.
Now, what he's outlining is something that I also do. When we're having generalization, when we're having conversations and we're speaking generally, and we're like, oh, the women will do X, Y, and Z. Women will do X, Y, and Z. And we're like, whoa, hold on. Only a subsect of women will actually do this, or only a subsect of women can actually do this, and it will be the hoes. So I'll be like, no, hoes do this. Hoes have indiscriminate sex. Hoes are able to have sex without any emotional connection. I wouldn't say women will do that. I wouldn't put that on women, because that's what they like to do in a lot of red pill manosphere spaces. They like to denigrate women on a whole. It's like not all, but generally. So it makes it seem like there's this scarcity mindset where there's barely any good ones out there, and it's all just dustiness. That's what you try to refrain from doing, but that's why you use, she's a hoe. A man is not a man. He's not living up to the qualities and the principles of what a man is. He's an adult male. He's not seen as a man now, and that's why she said boy. That's where it came from. That's why I'm like, is there some sort of English nuance that you're missing here, or is it just, I don't get it, but let's get it.
I talk with a person that talks really fast. For English is not my first language. I was overconfident.
And then when he said English is not my first language, I was breaking it down. I'm like, maybe there's some things here that we're just not getting through.
To the point where I didn't have a notebook, right? But on my head, what I was going to do to actually be petty was, every time you actually talk about men, I would say, that's not a man, that's a boy. That's not a man, that's a playboy. That's not a man, that's a kid. And when you actually do that, you can deflect everything, because if you say, now listen, because if you say, such and such stat says that these men on this area beat woman up, I turn around and says, those are not men, those are boys. And
but those are. What do you mean? If you don't have control of your emotions, you're not a man. What do you mean? Yeah, and I'm not arguing with you, not so like.
So there's no man called.
But you're trying to make it like an aha, like aha, gotcha, bitch. It's not an aha, gotcha, bitch moment. It's I know, I agree with you on that. So
it's a deflection. If I say that he's not a man, he's a boy, he's a deflection. He's a man. He's on that moment.
See, it's not a deflection. There goes. This is where the miscommunication happens.
Listen, just because somebody does not have the bandwidth to understand something, it doesn't mean it's a deflection or derailing. It's just because you don't understand it. But when you say, yo, you and Ali, you derailing, I'm not derailing. You just don't have the capacity to understand what I'm saying, and that's fine. But when you sit there and say that I'm derailing because you don't understand what I'm saying, like if you address a behavior, an unhinged woman on Jerry Springer, that's not nothing feminine or classy, but that's an unhinged trick.
Now, Fatty's saying that's a woman. But what he's failing to realize is that they will get these labels put on them due to their lack of behavior of living up to what a woman principally would be. What we would hold a woman to in modern society as an adult woman, that she's not behaving like a woman, that's more indicative of a child or a hoe or a trick, something else that you ascribe the name for. So that's what they're doing. That's what she's doing here. It's not, I think he's making it too literal. Whereas if you're a failure as a man, you cannot be seen as a man because you're a failure. But Fatty's saying, okay, manosphere talking point. All men are valuable. Men built society. The society's built on the back of the men, so men should be appreciated and respected. Even if he's a whatless, living with his mother, dusty piece of shit, he should be respected. That's the point that he should be respected as a man. If I'm not correct, I don't know if Fatty's still in chat. I think that's the point he's trying to make. But that's a participation trophy, and that's what I've been trying to tell folks.
He identifies as a woman, but there's nothing feminine about those traits.
And this is the racist comment that I was talking about. Black folks just do it all the time, man.
But that's not
my problem.
They dropped her off.
Sorry, Angela.
Yeah, but Angela, somebody's going to bring her back. This is the problem.
Somebody bring Angela back. Don't be petty. Bring her back.
This is the problem about disingenuous conversations. A woman is a woman. A woman that runs her kid. A woman that goes to the moon. A woman that cooks well. A woman that is a shitty woman. She still is a woman. When you say she's not a woman, she's a child, she's a girl. She's not a woman, she's a girl. She's not a woman, she's a girl. You are actually deflecting from the point, because I could do the same thing with men. I could say there's not a man, there's a boy. There's not a man, there's a boy. There's not a man, there's a playboy.
Oh shit, we got Duke in the chat. Shout out to Duke the Don.
Men are men, women are women.
But this is the thing, right? To her point, a lot of women are very childish. And to your point, a lot of men are very childish too.
Yes.
But the points that you were making on your end were not valid in regards to the fact, like what she said about women on social media. 72% of women are not on social media. So they're...
Now, Robbie got that stat incorrect, but she found out that she got it incorrect, and she later in the show corrected herself and said, no, I got that stat. I don't know where I got it from. It's wrong. And she corrected herself. So shout out to Robbie for that.
Or, no,
USA?
Yes, United States of America.
77% of women don't have social media. So 77 in 100 women don't have a social media?
Yes.
Robbie, are they old women?
Now, that just sounds wrong when you hear it, so that's why I knew it was bullshit. But she corrected herself. Let's get into this.
Can you do by age? We're
going to fast forward this part because...
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Just because you know a lot of people that have Facebook, it doesn't mean that that's everybody. Thanos, I don't know what's happening, babe, but, you know.
My mama has Facebook. My grandma has Facebook.
Is your mama a young woman?
No, but my sister has Facebook and Instagram. I bet, Angela, everybody that you know has social media too. I have Bing, every woman that you know probably has social media too. You have social media. People that are with you have social media. Kids have social media. 70%, I will believe it. But if it doesn't actually have in count that these people are older people, that's impossible. That 70% of women don't have social media.
It could be made up of more than just old people, but the point is not all women are twerking online and doing crazy stuff. Not all.
It's not about twerking, but just having social media.
Can you throw that in the back, Robbie? I just...
Yeah, I'm trying to find it because I was reading earlier and I have to find where I pulled it up from, but I will.
Do you understand the point that I was saying? It just, to me, sounds like a cop-out. And I didn't want to play the same game and say those are not, because you are honest. That's not
No,
the woman. It's
no,
the hoe.
I think
It's the
you're
woman.
not.
It's the hoe.
No, you're not trying to understand me, and maybe we just don't understand each other. And I'll just come to terms with that. But if we're describing a biological factor, because in my world there's only two damn genders, so if there's a man and a woman, we're describing what a man physically is. Like, you're of age, you're over 18, you're a man, you're not a boy. But do you live up to the standards of a man? Do you live up to some sort of principles? What do you do that says you're a man? Do you stand up and do you protect? Do you do what's right? If you don't live up to those qualities, then by design you can say that you're a man, but you're not living up to that. You can say,
yep, that's 100% factual. I'm gonna let Angela continue in a second, but if you're still here, you got on your panel and said some dumb shit about principles because you don't understand them. You're taking words from my mouth. I understand that you want to be more like me because you keep saying that I'm jealous of you for some dumbass reason, and then you keep aligning our channels. We do such different things, and then you keep getting up on your panel and saying, we do the same thing, we do the same thing. Why do you want to be like my channel? We don't do the same thing, sir. Not at all. Leave it alone. Let me explain to you what a principle is. It's a fundamental truth or a proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior, for a chain of reasoning. That's what a principle is. So you make a bunch of those principles and you form yourself a constitution and you move within those. You do not break, bend, or your principles for nothing. That's what men do. Y'all little free little niggas that just do whatever y'all want to do and troll and do some bullshit in chats and act like fucking victims because y'all aren't principled and y'all are unaccountable. You go over the other chats and troll, and when it happens to you, you're crying on your chat. Like, make it make sense. Now, let's listen to this part. I'm gonna let it play. Let's go back a few seconds as well.
you live up some sort of principles. What do you do that says you're a man? Do you stand up and do you protect? Do you do what's right? If you don't live up to those qualities, then by design, you can say that you're a man, but you're not living up to that. You can say that, oh, I'm an adult, but you're not paying bills. You're not actually doing what you have to contribute to society. So you can't sit and say, I'm a man. You like, I'm not saying you, but somebody who lives at home. I don't know you, so I can't say you in specific.
So I'm on my own. I'm on my mama basement. I have no responsibilities. I have no kids. I have no dogs. If I die tomorrow, nobody's going to be in jeopardy. Everybody will be okay. I am as close as a child as you can get.
Wow. I'm going to play this one more time for y'all because, Fatty, is this true? Do you live at home with your mom and your mom's, like, what is this? You keep talking about all these super chats and how about you make so much more money than me, but you also said my studio's nice because I actually reinvest into the business. Yo ass be like,
hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
meanwhile you live at your Duke's crib. This can't be real. This must be a language barrier for us. I don't think he actually meant that's his life. Let me pull this back to be sure.
Somebody who lives at home.
Put it on you.
So I
Put it
can't
on
say
you.
you in specific.
I'm on my own. I'm on my mama basement. I have no responsibilities. I have no kids. I have no dogs. If I die tomorrow, nobody's going to be in jeopardy. Everybody will be okay. I am as close as a child as you can get. Am I a man?
No, I say you're a boy.
Oh, she throwing shade, Fatty. Oh, smoke up. She got that smoke.
So, it's not shade, but it's not makes sense.
It's not shade. You can take it as shade. You just asked me because to me, I was at home for many years. I was a girl.
You call a black man a boy?
You hear this idiot? You call a black man a boy.
Bag.
Yo, Hink, shut your stupid ass up, nigga. What the fuck? She asked him a direct question, you dumb son of a bitch. What's wrong with this nigga?
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
God damn it, man. Y'all went out so sad. Manosphere men. God damn it.
It's not shade. You can take it as shade. You just asked me because to me, I was at home for many years. I was a girl.
You call a black man a boy?
Cheeky, I got you. But Angela, that was what.
You see that, Reach? She just got kicked off and disrespected with the yum yum sauce. And now y'all are talking, you called a black man a boy when you asked her a direct question. God damn it. Hink, make it make sense. I know Hink knows better. Hink be on the panels on Lapeef. Hink knows better. This nigga must be trolling.
That's what I want to get.
You don't play that.
There's billions.
I don't know what they play over there. You don't call no man no boy, no black man no boy.
Wait, how do you know?
Yo, this nigga's he's actually serious.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
He's not serious. He's as serious as a drop is. Come on, man. You can't be dead ass. I believe he is serious because he looks serious and he's acted serious, but it's like, come on, man. You can't be that dense. You can't be.
Ask a question.
No, we're not gonna turn that into a race. She wasn't being.
Too late, I already did.
But she wasn't.
So he was really accurately describing his life. God damn it, Fatty. Fatty says I don't send super chats to folks. He's right. I barely send super chats. I probably sent a super chat, to like, I think, E-Black, did I send you a super chat in life? I sent Solo TV and Duke a super chat once in life. Yeah, I don't send much super chats. I usually reinvest the shit back into the business to keep it a stack. And niggas got bills too, you know what I mean? But that's the way he builds his brand. That was his criticism. I don't send super chats. I'm too damn cheap. Man, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to argue that. I barely do it. That's how I make my money. Supposed to be giving my money away to y'all? Like, come on, man.
She wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Ink, he was not on that concept. No, that's not.
No,
he was not on that concept.
Jesus Christ, please don't do this.
But I actually wanted you to answer to that, so we can.
Someone said, Tyke Whitefield, I wish you was reacting off the show Fatty did yesterday, talking about choosing sides. Well, Fatty did something to that show. Fatty was talking shit about me in that show, and what did he do? He put it on members. My membership expired before the issue. Shout out to me. His membership is still active, so he's still a member of this channel, but yeah. But he took down the stream. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. He put it on private, but I can still get it. Hold on.
Chambers.
And we got it. Yep, we got it. That quick. We got it. We got that stream. You want to react to that next? We can react to that next. We got it. The stream that he was talking and shit, throwing rocks and hiding his hands, he thought he got it away. Nope, we got it. We got it. Shout out to Not Your Everyday Ashley. Sending super chats is fiscally irresponsible.
I'm getting rich.
Well, you know, they have a circuit. You know, content creators support each other. Everybody's sending around super chats. It's good for the economy. It's good for it. I'm not shitting on it. Like, it is good that everybody supports each other and send each other super chats and do that. But nah, man, we ain't doing that. So if I support the content, y'all saying some real shit, I'll super chat here and there. But for the most part, I'm reinvesting back into the business. That's why my studio looks lovely, Fatty. You said the studio looks good. Kept it real at least a little bit. At least I'm not in my Oh, I got the perfect. I have the perfect drop because he said he's in his bedroom in his mom's basement or something.
I'm not in my bedroom. You are, and no one can hear you.
All right. Let's go. Where is it? Ah, yes. Ah, yes. You see this? Ah, this was last night's show. This was last night's show. Fatty's just somewhere like, hey, yo.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Fatty somewhere like, yo, I put this on private expeditiously. How did he?
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I seen that. I'm like, yep, still on the platform. Still on the platform. It's not deleted. So I'm just going to walk up in there and,
Chambers.
We got that. I'm not going to react to it right now. We're going to do that on another day. You're a member of their channels, though, LTTV? Nope, mine expired. What are you talking about, Moxie? My shit expired before he hopped on the channel getting cooked. I made sure everything timed out properly. While he's still a sub and still a member, talking shit on his panel, still a member, saying my channel's boring, saying I have no personality, I'm not funny, all this extra shit. Like, I ain't here to be a jester, nigga. I react to the jesters. That's what we do on reaction channels. We make fun of niggas going out with their substandard behavior so we don't have to jest for them. I don't have to play the dumbass like you do. The fuck? This nigga got me fucked up. Trying to convince the girls, oh, he's not funny. Fatty, they still gonna love me. Fatty, I could show up and do bare minimum. Bare minimum. I don't have to say much. I don't have to jump through hoops and be funny. The fuck? That's for you fat niggas. That's why you talk about how much money you got. It's the only way you getting in, sir. And even then, you might get finessed. What do we got here? I didn't finish that last debate.
Either I'm just someone that likes.
See, Prom, you're a subscriber to both channels. That's cool. I don't ever want to be like, yo, the fans, y'all got to choose channels. Like, this is entertainment, my nigga. Y'all got to, I'm not going to be on 24/7. Like, somebody got to entertain y'all. So if y'all want to watch his show, I'm not going to be the person to be like, y'all don't watch your show. I'm not the type of person, I heard their talk about picking sides and, oh, you're over there, you got to pick sides. This was not ever about picking sides. It's about being congruent with your words. Your actions weren't congruent with your words. I don't need somebody to be on some gangster shit, some goon shit, on the same shit I'm on. But they have to at least be honest with their words because I'm in the media. I take this shit serious. I don't want to be led astray with fabricated storylines when I'm covering this. He says we do the same things. I'm in aggregate media. I don't know what your role is in media. I don't know what your channel is. My channel has a clear outline description of what it is. That's why I pointed to Duke's channel earlier in the chat, because it has a clear outline of what you are to expect from his channel. This is what he's here on his platform to do. This is the business. This is the answer. This is what we're doing. So it's clear. It's not no finesse. Fatty's on some bullshit ass manosphere finesse. Oh, you don't know the details between me and Anton's relationship. Okay, Anton calls you a rat and a snake. You say you don't like that nigga. It's beef. It's X, Y, and Z. That's what you present to the public. If there's something going on behind scenes that is not congruent with what we see, that is what we call fake, sir. That is what we call pulling the wolves over our eyes for a finesse in a bag. Y'all are working together to get the money at our detriment. Running fake news articles because I'm fucking it up thinking that y'all really have beef. Framing it as, oh, Anton trying to get back in the community on the panel. Meanwhile, Anton's comfortable in the community on the panel because he ain't never left. And everything's always open on your channel. Fatty's the type of person that has the need to be right as well. Fatty's still bringing up the Lapeef shit. He's like, oh, but you're asking Lapeef about Courtney, da 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 da. I told him on Tommy Sotomayor's channel, you're wrong as fuck and hold your L. I outlined why he was wrong as fuck. I was doing a reaction to Yanni. Yanni was prying in between all their information, holding them accountable for shit. Daryl Long got his clout chasing dusty ass on the panel and said a bunch of fabrications to make everything blow up and, oh, it's a wild thing. I'm reacting to it. I have nothing to do with it. I don't know any of y'all at this point. I didn't interact with nobody from the Lapeef wing, nobody from Fatty's channel, nobody from Anton's channel. I have no interactions with none of y'all. I'm simply reacting. I'm speculating. JR calls in, says, nah, it's all cap. I'm like, okay, it's all cap. People are telling me, oh, pry in. He said it's all cap. The affair was all cap, but they may have actually had sex. I'm like, I don't care. The rumor was they had an affair. He called in. He said, it's all cap. It's all cap. We're moving on with the story. I don't need to pry into the business. I'm speculating. I'm a reactor. Fatty, I think you don't understand this. You don't understand YouTube. You don't understand reactions. You don't understand the business of YouTube. You're just here for the super chats. You really don't understand what's going on. That's why you pester people about their thumbnails, their titles, and then you do the same thing. It's all cap. But y'all go enjoy that show. I ain't telling y'all to pick sides. It's entertainment. His is Jerry Springer. None of this shit's real. You say something, yeah, you may flip-flop. You call a bitch because you can. Oh, why do you call this woman a bitch? Yeah, because I can. We hear stuff like that on from girls on Daily Wrap-Up Crew saying nonsense to these niggas on their panel, and they're like, well, that's not responsible as an adult. These girls like, well, I can do whatever I want. That's what Fatty sounds like when he's calling women bitches on panels because he's emotional, trying to defend every point all weekend, going out sad, lying about the reason why he took out all the content. He doesn't want to get clipped up. He doesn't want to get reacted to. Fatty was on a panel with Daryl Long. He recently denounced Daryl Long in the beginning of the last live stream yesterday, but he was on a panel with Daryl Long reacting to things. You play the Daryl Long shit, all that zesty dance he does all the time, like you don't fuck with Daryl Long. You're telling Lucky, how could you even fuck with a deplorable human being? He's scum of the earth. Why are you on panels for extended time with Daryl Long? Cheeky Banners channel. Oh, we got Taz. Taz is in the chat. Taz was here too. Daryl Long, Simp God, right on the screen. All right, hold on. Let me hold this. Daryl Long, Simp God. Let's see what the time where Fatty and him are on the same panel, just reacting to things, chalking it up, just chilling away. This space is weird to me, man. This space is weird. That's why I don't do this space. That's why I don't want to be involved with any of these people in their panels. Miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with that. Hold on, where's Fatty's on here? Okay, Fatty's on the panel. Daryl Long's gone. Taz, you're there. You witnessed this. You understand it. I don't have to react to this. I don't need to deal with no copyrights from some niggas. I don't know how they move. Fatty, Daryl Long on the same screen.
Unforgettable.
Doing panels, having regular conversations with these folks. Very weird, man. People have their agenda. It's all for money. I'm here for the content. Content creation consistently for years. Built a brand, built a wave. Have some integrity. Stands on some principles. The money follows. Everybody knows this. The money comes. You might not have that short-term rise where you're making so much so fast. It might be a slow, gradual process. But once it's slow and gradual, the money keeps rolling in consistently. So this is the better way to do it. You won't ever have me on a panel with Daryl fucking Long. Daryl, the simp god himself. The king of Zest. Next to Zesty TV. These folks. Nah, man. The things that I was sent about Daryl Long. The fuckery that he was doing. The fact that folks are still allowing him on panels and building with them. It's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm not the type of person to police people. That's the whole thing. That's where people fuck up. Just be consistent and congruent with your points. You can't say one thing and then do another. Rob B has Simp God on her panels. I'm not telling Rob B, don't put Daryl on your channel, don't do X, Y. I don't care. That's your channel. Do what you want to do. But when you say one thing and you do another, I'm gonna look at you mad funny. Now, I spoke about this way more than I wanted to. I didn't even finish the reaction in regards to the boy comments when Hink reacted.
Either I'm just someone that likes to have a conversation, but
oh, she throwing shade, Fatty. Oh, smoke up. She brought that smoke.
So, it's not shade, but it's not mixed in.
It's not shade. You can take it as shade. You just asked me because to me, I was a girl for many years. I was a girl.
Oh, man, you call a what man a boy?
Cheeky, I got you. But Angela, that was where I wanted to get. That's what I want to get.
Yeah, I don't play. You don't play that anywhere.
There's billions.
I don't know what they play over there. You don't call no man no boy, no black man.
Wait, how are you gonna ask a question and then get mad?
No, we're not gonna turn that into a racial. She wasn't speaking.
Too late. I already did.
But she wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Ink, he was not on that concept. So let's not.
No,
he was not on that concept. But that's But I actually wanted you to answer to that, so we can actually.
Read though, so I understand. Alone.
Ink, she doesn't mean like.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm a different breed. If y'all accept it, I'm out.
Ink, I asked her a question. Am I a man or a boy?
Nah, see, he was serious. He was not trolling. He was dead ass.
Boy, and she said I'm a boy. He's not racial. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Intentions matter. Come on, man.
You should have never said.
I'm having a conversation in good faith. I don't want to play that shit.
Fatty, calm down, dog. I'm not JP, but I'm from a different era, right?
I apologize, ancestor.
In my era.
Okay.
Your era, baby, it's acceptable.
In my opinion, you're doing too much. But
we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
He is doing too much.
Fine, I apologize. So Angela, I actually wanted to ask you that. So actually, I can prove that you are being disingenuous. I'm a man. Listen. From the time I was born until now, I've been with it between 40 to 50 women. I broke hearts of.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
What does that have to do with being a grown-ass man with no responsibilities, no obligations, nothing built, living in your mother's basement? What does 40 to 50 women have to do with that?
A man. Listen. From the time I was born until now, I've been with it between 40 to 50 women. I broke hearts of some women. I used some of them. I fell in love with some of them. I actually was the man of the life of a few. I had participation on all this bullshit that we complain and is going on. So the fact that you actually are going to say, disqualify me and says you are a boy, you are not a man, means that we can have no conversation in good faith, because every time you talk about a man, this is something. And listen, you are one of.
Now, you're going to learn that Fatty's words mean nothing. Because Fatty said, you don't see me as a man, you see me as a boy, we can't have a conversation in good faith, there's nothing to talk about. And then later on, he invites Angela back on her panel next week. Make that make sense.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck. Those that says, these red pill manosphere guys always complaining and and I can say, don't complain about me because I'm not a man, I'm a boy, and no consequence now comes because I have no responsibility. I'm a boy, I'm just having fun. Do you think
but that's
a good way?
I think that's fine, because the reason why I think, let me explain. I think that if you're willing to sacrifice your integrity as a man and own up to the title of being a boy, because you don't want to say, hey, I failed, let me do better. I flopped in life, I made a couple of mistakes, that was before, this is me. I don't think there's anything wrong with owning up to your past, like you just said earlier, if you decide you want to progress in life and do better. Now, if you own that title at 30, 40, 50 years old as a mistake that you made in your past, I think that is a problem. So if we sit here and victimize ourselves and say like, yo, you trying to say I'm this, this, and this, well, are you still doing it? If the shoe fits and you're offended, then maybe that's what you've owned up to it. And you would, no, I'm saying hypothetically. I didn't say you were. I would directly point at you. I have no problem saying that, because I think that we're talking and we're very civilized, and I've never said you're unfair. What I do say is like, I didn't understand if there was an entertainment factor, and are we owning up to, hey, are we trying to come to terms with what we're talking about, or are we just trying to fight just to fight for clicks? Like,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't like that, because if you notice, we had that 20-minute back and forth, and when I actually understood that we didn't have common ground, I actually tried to bring the people up. And when I knew that the most combative person on our space was ready to go to your neck, I said, guys, relax, let's have a second for us, because that will be a highlight moment for me. Absolutely. I actually jeopardized that highlight moment because you are my guest, and I want you at least to have 2 or 3 hours of conversations with somebody calling you panda, your eyes are like this. I knew where the conversation was going. I knew for a fact. So I actually stopped it from there. But that's the thing. I think we had a good conversation. It was, unfortunately, it started to be a good conversation when the panel actually came together. I know you were kind of like tired or something like that, but actually the conversation picked up a little bit because there were people that agree with you and you started to have a back and forth. And by the end of it, I showed you respect. You showed me respect. I talked with my guys about the situations that happened on the panel so they don't get some resentment about it. And I even invite you. I said, hey, Angela, next week, 2 weeks, come back so you can have the panelist experience, because this is dirty as fuck and you are going to feel exactly what I'm trying to protect you from. I told you about the money. You actually were very polite and said, send me money and we'll be good to go. But the thing is, people that are around us and that are looking at this, Fatty's trying to pick a fight with Angela, and Angela is going from panel to try. That's not what happened. We actually had a conversation. Everything was good. We talked on the back and we followed through. He actually, unfortunately, he wasn't aware of what happened on the panel, because he was saying, because these guys are hurting and they are complaining about it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm okay with the reality that we have right now. The reality,
I think the reason
Yo,
why
Angela, don't. Hold on, guys. Let me just do this real quick. Because when I have my stats incorrect, I'm able to come through and say that. I re-looked at that stat and I read that stat wrong. It was not saying that 72% of women don't use social media. See how that works? It's very easy to do. You say something in error, you just say, "Oh, my bad," and that's it. Moving right along.
Now, I wonder where she actually got that stat from, because I find it funny. In one of the videos that I reacted to, somebody had that stat or something like that stat, but it was the inverse of that stat. It was that stat opposite. So I was like, oh, did she read that from the chat section? Couldn't have. Must have been from something online. But let's get it.
Send an example. I don't know.
I was
know if people can do that, Robbie, but kudos.
I was gonna say, yo, Fatty, she don't need no protection. I was on one of her panels. They get ignorant over there too, dog. They just ain't black.
Wait, what do you mean by that? I don't understand this.
No, I'm saying your panels get ignorant too. I mean, you're used to this. So he's saying, like, I was trying to protect you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, my biggest problem, like, I will say thank you for the respect of saying that you wanted to protect me, but the reason why I think it's unfair to do that, even though I'm not going to dismiss you for doing that, I think that when we're in these type of spaces, it is a quite combative spaces. Like, when you put me on a pedestal and say that I have a privilege, I think it's unfair for everyone else. And then you have to get the shit for it. Then I have to get the shit for it. And I'm like, listen, we know what this is when you do the content creating stuff.
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
Come back next week. The real Pookie was on his best behavior.
You hear that? Come back next week.
We're putting you on probation. We're putting you on probation.
Hell no! Trash ass nigga.
You said she didn't respect you as a man. There's nothing to talk about. You don't respect me as a man. There's nothing to talk about. But come back next week. Come back next week. There's nothing to talk about. You don't respect me as a man. Hey, see you next week. Yikes. Yikes. All right, let me run this. Close this. We are wrapping up today's show, folks. I was not ever even planning on reacting to anything in this realm. This was supposed to be all about Rollo Tomassi, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, Pearl, and Ange. Wait, Pearl was barely even... Bitch has a whole thumbnail spot and she ain't no main character in this episode. Hey, yo, we gotta remove that. Why are you in the middle of the thumbnail? You're so irrelevant to this episode, getting all that free clout. Yeah, we wrapping this one up. Make sure y'all subscribe. Shout out to everybody with the 10,000 subscriber count. Now I could finally return back to Instagram. That's been aggy. I've been off Instagram for how long now? When was the last time I posted? I think I broke it once to post a show that I was doing with Lucky for promotion because she posted it and I didn't want to leave her hanging. But outside of that, it's almost been an entire year since I posted on Instagram trying to get to this 10K sub count, being all the way focused in. I could have probably grew the count quicker if I used Instagram as stuff, but people see it anyway, so it is what it is. You coming back outside today? By back outside, you think you mean back on air? See, I say I'm coming back, and then sometimes things go left, and it doesn't work out that way. So, yo, fatty, fuck you. You fat ass nigga. What's wrong with this fat bitch?
I'm getting rich.
Congratulations on the $7 stream. Dope show. Yep, fatty, it's all about money, no integrity, no principles. We get into the bag though. We on the grift. We getting rich, bro.
I'm getting rich.
$7 show. Not like big bag fatty out here. Fatty leaves here with like 700 to 7,000 per show.
I've seen him do it.
Fatty.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
It's about the content, man. We actually get money out the AdSense as well, man. We don't just build through the super chats. I'm not trying to finesse my fan base. I'll put on a show. I'll get it out the AdSense like a normal content creator. The super chats are a bonus. Y'all have to understand. The super chats are a bonus. See, Fatty's a noob. Fatty doesn't understand. That's why I laugh at Fatty. Fatty doesn't get it. This is my second channel, Fatty. I have a podcast channel. I haven't put out a podcast in a while. Guess what still pays me? The podcast. I'm not just a YouTuber. I'm a podcaster. There's back ends, front ends, and all sorts of money on the podcast end. You download my podcast on Spotify. The sponsors I have on my podcast give me way more CPM than anything on YouTube. Like, you're a noob, bro. You're new to this, and you want to talk money. That's, you know who talks money?
Big App is here now.
People that have no integrity, no standards, no morals, just absolute fucking grifters, finessers. That's all they talk about, money, because that's all they could show. They can't stand on anything else. They can't stand on anything character-wise. Fatty, you played yourself. You might want to reinstate those videos. You're killing your wave in the algorithm. I put Team Fatty in the title. I pillage your entire search engine because YouTube is a search engine. So, not the wisest decision for somebody that's serious about their content, but still good for somebody that's just trying to get their bread, you know? So, shout out to you.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
I suggest, you know what? I'll leave this one alone. I almost went too far, but let's just wrap this one up. Don't tell people your personal business ever. See, I have policy and I have principles. So the things that are shared off air that are supposed to be private will remain private. But if it didn't remain private, there would be some ether and there would be some career-ending hiding in shame. Nonetheless, the greatest part about some of the things that were said behind stage is E Black was witness. So, Fatty, next time, man.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
And you're not a content creator either. I could do you like I did King Rich's. Super pause.
Stick together. Pause. Knows he can have it. Pause. You see what I do when I got the rock. Pause.
Let me just put this in real quick.
Pause. I can clip this up into several pieces and just show how inept of a debater and how stupid Fatty really is. Because Fatty loves to clown Jay Prince because he's the idiot. Fatty does look smart with Jay Prince around, but isolate Fatty, Fatty's an idiot too. No comprehension skills. Like, it's sad, man. All these manosphere dweebs believe in the talking points they have until they stay single. Dusty dying alone with the dog that they're saying the feminists are going to die alone with. Y'all have the same results. Y'all are still dusty. Still dusty. Yeah, Jay Prince for president asked for a collab, but as far as I'm concerned, sir, you are also an Anton underling, and I don't fuck with none of y'all. None of you Anton underlings. So nope. Respectfully, nope. Once again, y'all, to make it clear so they don't try to slander the message, it's not no pick and side shit. Anybody affiliated with me, work with whoever y'all want to work with. Don't be faking the funk and double agenting like Fatty is. Don't tell me one thing and then do another. Don't paint a fabricated picture and then act like, oh, you don't understand. You just don't understand. It's like, nigga, shut your bitch ass up, you unaccountable fat piece of dog shit. We out.